relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. RentAFishTank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at RentAFishTank.com.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this one purple.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the pirate nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello and welcome in to a Thursday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios, coming to you today on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We're on 1250, we're on 930, and you can listen to the show online at pr927fm.com. We are also live on Facebook Live and on YouTube. You can watch the show there and chime in and be a part of the show with your comments, questions, concerns, birthdays, anniversaries, any announcements you might need to make. We do have a birthday that we'll talk about momentarily. But let me welcome to the show Shirley Rhodes, who is back in the producer chair. Hello, Shirley.
Hello, Clip.
Chandler Honeycutt back in his video production seat. Hello.
Thank goodness.
Hello, Chan Man. And Mike Mullis is here inside the Pirate Radio studios, fighting through it. Hello, Mully.
Hey, buddy.
We will talk to Mully. We got a big rundown coming up in just a moment. Coming up later on this hour, we'll talk some NFL and more with Jeff Nadu, the big man on campus, will join us to maybe give us a play for tonight's Hall of Fame game. Got some preseason football tonight, so it's something to watch. Not going to be that great, we know that, but I'll be tuned in at least for the first quarter of it. At 4 o'clock, we'll talk all things football with Emory Hunt. He is on CBS Sports HQ, Sportsline as well, and he covers FCS, FBS, knows a lot about the NFL. We'll talk Pirate football, the American, look around the state of North Carolina, and get his thoughts on a lot of football topics coming up at 4 o'clock. The new dad, Stephen Igo, joins us around 4:30 as we'll talk ECU fall camp. No media availability today. We will have some audio and video from Mike Houston on Friday, but no media today. We'll have some cuts from Mike Houston in this show and some comments from Holton Ahlers and Jaquan McMillan from AAC Media Day. Got that later on. And then in the 5 o'clock hour, Troy D will be here, and former Pirate Phoenix Evans, who is at Epps Middle School, the former ECU player, now coaching and doing a lot of things. So looking forward to catching up with the old Pirate there, Phoenix Evans, in the third hour. All right, Mully, we'll kick it off with today's rundown and ECU fall camp, day 2 of practice today. Kind of said it before we went on the air. It's going to be a long month of saying, practice went pretty good today. Guys looking good.
Yeah, had a good day.
It's really, honestly, no news is good news season.
Yeah, we just want to be healthy.
No injuries,
just want to be healthy.
Arrests, none of that stuff. But Shirley, let's hear a little bit from Mike Houston after day 1 as he talked about the team's youth and the team's depth. Cut 10.
Well, for the first time since I've been here, we're going to take the field with 85 scholarships, and because of the COVID seniors. That first year I think I played with 72 or something like that. So, that whole deal is going to benefit us. It's great because now all of a sudden, Jason Shuford played a lot last year and he's got 5 years to play for. Now, is he going to be here that whole time? I don't know because, those guys are going to graduate, before their eligibility is up now. I'm just happy we got him here now. But I do think, for the program overall, this whole mess is going to benefit us roster management-wise. I know you've seen a lot of stuff coming out of other places around the country about, how they're struggling to manage their roster because of this. And that's going to be an issue with the high school recruits and having enough places to go in the next couple of years. But for us, it's going to be something to help us fix everything.
So it can be beneficial. It can be a detriment. Mully, there's going to be some interesting conversations across the country with coaches and players when they want to bring in this 5-star guy, but they still have this junior on the roster because he got the extra year. And how do you manage it all? A lot of questions there.
No, and the mysterious transfer portal is going to be
even more active, and
continually active. I think it's going to change some of how you go about recruiting. If you're a mid-major school, do you still go into the depths of like the freshman stud? In other words, you can almost not have to recruit as heavily the younger guys, let them play into the later years of their high school career, kind of sit back and see what happens, knowing that there's always going to be, at least for the next little while, going to be really good players coming through the portal that may be upgrades over what you've got.
Yeah, and I've heard also, somewhat to that point, people ask, why are these 5-star quarterbacks going to Ohio State and Alabama? Well, it makes sense, but there's 4 other guys just like you there, and 2 of them are going to transfer to other schools. Why not just start out at where do you go? A smaller Power 5, a bigger group of 5?
No, that's not the way. If you're a 5-star athlete, that's not the way you're thinking. Out. That's not the way you. I mean,
however, 2 years later, you're at a different spot.
Oh no, you see it both ways, right? Yeah. You see the guys that go in, play as their careers forecasted. They come out, everything's great, and then you see the guys that bounce around. And I think it's when you get a kid of that caliber, it's going to come down to makeup, and it's going to come down to the mesh of the culture, and it just doesn't work out sometimes. It doesn't matter if you're a 5-star or a 2-star. Sometimes it just doesn't pan out. So it'd be really hard to convince me if I was that talented of a player to, hey, let's go to I don't know. We talked a little bit like last week. Go to Mississippi State instead of going to Alabama if you got a chance. I just don't see it.
Mike Mullis joining us on the inside the Pirate Radio studio. Shirley, let's hear cut 13. Speaking of QBs, how did East Carolina's quarterbacks look on day 1?
Well, QB1 had a good day. So, but he's almost as old as I am. That's what I thought. So I said, the savvy vet out there. So, and then the young pups. I was talking to Mason during the stretch. I was like, last year at this time, you were inside having some kind of a, nervous breakdown or something or other because you just, eyes that big kind of deal. He was one of those freshmen last year. Stubblefield was too. But now all of a sudden you got Flynn, you got Stubby, you got Mason, that they all have that experience. And so at least they don't look like that nervous freshman in his first college practice. You look at Walter, kid with a ton of ability, and he's just still trying to learn how to function out there. So I think fine for day 1. Until we start having a few more live bullets, I wouldn't put too much into it, though.
All right, yeah, got to see a lot more than one day, but right now, Mully, Holton is the guy, and there's still a question of who's the backup. I think they want it to be Mason Garcia, right, obviously, but right now, Holton the guy leading the charge there.
You know what, and there's Coach said something there that's not much credit is given to the fact of the getting used to the acclimation process of a freshman. It don't matter what the sport is; they're trying to figure out where am I even supposed to be, and that starts from the beginning of the day until what the routine is. Until they get into that routine, there's a lot of thinking, extra, maybe even unnecessary thinking that takes place. And he's right. I've been that guy with a new team, and you're like, all right, how are we supposed to go about doing this? And I've also coached those guys where you're like, hey, you kind of put your arm around them, go, hey, it's still baseball in my case. Just relax, play the game, and we'll get you where you need to be.
Well, we saw that firsthand with Mason Garcia having to start against Navy last year.
Right.
It just wasn't ready.
No.
It also reminds me of Mike Houston year 1 when he was saying, and a lot of new coaches in new places will say this, but he said, our guys have to learn how to practice before they can learn how to play.
And it's not even a matter of learning how to go through the drills. That is definitely a big part of it. But it's truly like learning where's my place in the locker room, because there's a pecking order to all this that's kind of behind the scenes, and it's understanding where you fit in that deal, and how do you tastefully and tactfully aspire to get out of that role that you're in to get into the role that you want to be in, knowing that you got to pay your dues. So I mean, there's a lot more that goes into it, and I know it's got to be great for the staff to have some experience out there.
We got a number of Pirates on watch lists this offseason. Mike Houston was asked about guys like Rajay Harris making preseason watch lists. This is cut 12, Shirley.
To a degree, you say it absolutely means nothing, because all I think it is maybe a little bit of a distraction, maybe. Because the last thing Rajay Harris can do is start thinking he's arrived, because if he does, then he's going to look up and he's going to be watching somebody else play. So I think it's important for our guys to keep their edge and not read that stuff too much. That being said, in 2019, I don't think we had a preseason anything. So it's good to have guys on your roster that have the ability to be on those lists.
Good to have recognition. At the end of the day, who cares? Nothing's proven yet. So
no.
It is interesting, Mully, and you were a former player, but a former coach too, to hear coaches say we don't read the headlines and all that, yet if it's a slight against them, boy, do they read that and use it as motivation. So you pick and choose, I think, what you read, right?
It's almost like there's like when you go into the coaching profession at any level, it's almost like you get brainwashed, or there's something like hey, you got to read this book, or because that coach speak stuff becomes so easy, and it's just like I kind of giggled a little bit. Coach used to watch. I hope he doesn't read this stuff and think he's arrived, and that was not a shot over the bow. That was a redirection. That was hey, let's not worry about this stuff. Let's go out and take care of what we got to take care of. But I found it interesting. He'll be watching somebody else play. That's coach speak.
I almost single-handedly took down ECU football one time, Mully, when I went out to practice and told Josh Hawkins he was on the midseason Thorpe Award watch list coming off the practice field. And he said, I am? Really? I am? And got this huge hop in his step, and then played like crap for 4 weeks in a row.
Nicely
to
done.
the point where Rick Smith was like,
Don't tell him that.
Josh Hawkins had a case of the big head after he knew he was on that list.
Thanks to Clip Brock.
Yeah. Look, I have been coaching a game, and I won't name the player, but this was during American Legion Baseball at Guy Smith Stadium during the Major League Baseball draft. You know how it was previously,
right. Yeah.
And had a player get drafted during the game. And the PA announcer, and this was a very late draft pick, makes the announcement, over the loudspeaker as my guys kind of strolling to the plate. That he had been drafted by the San Diego Padres, and I just looked up at I'm like, that's great. And we'll be excited about it after the game, or come let me know that this is happening. You want to make this announcement, and I may make a lineup change, but let's not put that out there, right?
Yeah, that's a lot guy going out on his own there.
That's a lot to carry to the plate with you.
Calling his own play.
Hey, man, I've been drafted, and I'm getting hit. I mean, I should hit a home run for sure.
Strike three!
Exactly right. Yeah, I should hit a home run right here. Maybe I could hit a 5-run home run. It's never happened in the history of the game, but maybe this is the time.
Oh, man, good stuff. All right, so we might hear more of Mike Houston. Also got some Holden Ahlers and Jaquan McMillan from American Media Days as well. Mully, let's get a minor league baseball report. Had some Pirate fans I know in attendance last night in Durham to see Alec Burleson play as he is moved up to the Memphis Redbirds AAA. We talked to him on Monday, and Shirley had one hit last night, right?
Yeah, he went 1 for 4, but that one hit was a double. So he has had 2 consecutive hits in 2 consecutive 2 hits in 2 consecutive games.
A hit in every AAA game he's ever played.
There you go.
Yep. So that is a definite good start for Alec. And unfortunately, the Redbirds lost to the Durham Bulls last night 6-3. But Burley did get another hit.
He also had a great defensive play, and I believe they have him playing center field.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot of outfield. I think that's where they're going to eventually kind of, as far as the position he'll play if he gets called up, it's likely he'll be outfield.
Mully, I don't remember. I keep saying this. I don't remember him being like plus power heading into professional baseball. And he certainly wasn't known for flashing the leather. And again, I've only seen highlights, but he's done a heck of a job in the field from what I've seen.
He's probably more than what they would have thought.
I think
to be honest with you. And he I think kind of like Coach Houston alluded to earlier, this crazy stuff could have been good for him too, to have some time, kind of time to work out, time to be away, not play nearly as many games as he would have already played at this point in his career.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think he made the most of it, and obviously he's making the most of every opportunity that he's being given right now.
Shirley, anything else? We had another promotion, right?
Yes, Jake Washer, who had been with the South Bend Cubs, got called up yesterday to the AA ranks. He'll be playing for the Tennessee Smokies, which is the AA affiliate of the Chicago Cubs.
Hell, the way they sold all their players, he might be in Wrigley.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Look, that's a great promotion for Jake, and because he had been playing pretty much all season in that high A, and so he's done well, and so he'll have an opportunity. I don't know, they are scheduled to play tonight. I don't know if he's in the lineup yet. I'll just keep an eye on that, because sometimes they post the lineup, sometimes they don't. So I'll just keep an eye on that, and if that's the case, I'll make sure I share it. But so congratulations to him. And Mike Wright pitched last night for the Charlotte Knights. They played the Gwinnett Stripers. But unfortunately, they lost 5-1. Mike was off to a really good start. He was like 5-0 at one point, and then, 4-0 at one point, and then he lost a few games, and unfortunately, he got handed the loss last night as well. So he is 6-5 on the year. He pitched 4 innings, allowed 3 runs on 5 hits, and then struck out 5. So he's still getting his numbers, but unfortunately sometimes gets saddled with a loss. So he's 6-5 on the year.
All right, Shirley Rhodes with a minor league update. We'll keep up with what is going on with the Pirates in the pros. Let's get an HV3 update. What the hell's the Barracuda Championship, Mully? That's going on in California right now.
Yeah, it's a tournament.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Harold joined us and said he might be off until the Wyndham, which is next week.
I think that's right.
But he is playing in this tournament in California. And if you know anything about our Thursday Harold updates, you know that he loves being like tied for 46th. That is his spot. He's +1. He's kind of right there in the middle. The leader of this tournament right now is is this a different scoring format, Mike Mullis? Because at tied for first, I'm seeing +12.
Yeah, they must have the Stapleford.
My goodness.
So what is that called? The
it's the Stapleford scoring system. So
how do you get points?
You get and I don't know how probably a point for birdie, something like that. Maybe 2 points for birdie. I know the way we play the point system on a modified basis, you get a point for bogey, 2 for par, 3 for birdie, but the big boys don't need the points for bogey.
Until you explained it, I was going to say I need to be in that tournament.
Yeah, no.
Well, right now John Daly's in last at -8.
Hey,
so you could look at it
right.
Hey, good job, John. He's like, no, don't know.
Different scoring system for this one. But Harold is going to need a good day on Friday to stay in this one, and then he'll be in front of his home fans coming up for the Wyndham. Which you said you've been to, Molly?
I've been to the golf course. Not been to that actual tournament yet.
All right. Next up on the rundown, the Field of Dreams game is coming up, Mike Mullis. Cool. Now, what does the stadium look like? Is there an actual like cornfield, or is there a fence and stands?
I've seen the kind of the overheads, and it's not at the actual site of the Field of Dreams movie. Yeah, it's like I want to say it's like 40 miles down the road, but I think it's pretty much in the middle of a cornfield.
Yeah, and it's a pretty neat setup.
Yeah, you know what? And I dig when they do this stuff, like they did the one at Camp Lejeune one time, and and then my favorite one is the one they do with the Little Leaguers at the World Series. So pretty neat stuff.
I like the even the lights. Like it might have a darker look on TV or something, like a classic field.
Yeah, so they'll have stands, because when I first heard, I thought they were going to play on the field that was represented in the movie, and I was going to say, where are they going to have are they just going to have people stand? Like it looked like a little league.
Yeah, no. And I don't think they're having many fans. I don't think
and the stands are only
Yeah,
It looks like a minor league park.
There's no stands beyond the fence.
I think it only holds 4,000 or 5,000 or something. I mean, it's not a big number. And speaking of fields that have been transformed, I mean, it's amazing to see what's going on at over at Elm Street. I mean, I rode by there. I quite frankly ride by there a couple times a day just because it's pretty cool to watch what they've done. But I mean, that crew with Weingarts and Scooter and and I know you guys have been talking about had them on the air, but what an amazing job they're doing over there. And it's not like anybody should be surprised. It is their standard MO, but pretty cool.
And they begin action the Softball World Series at Elm Street Park next Wednesday. Little League team, Mully, Little League All-Stars in Greenville play Friday.
Play tomorrow morning.
On ESPN Plus.
Yep, 10 o'clock.
At Warner Robins, Georgia.
Yep, so. Actually, Bram and the folks at Tiebreakers are going to open up and have a little late breakfast deal at 9:30.
Lunch party.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Have to check that out. All right, and finally, the Hall of Fame game.
Football is back.
Football is back. We made it through the summer, kind of. It is a preseason game. You're not going to recognize a lot of the names, but as we said earlier, you're going to have Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth, I would imagine. So that's going to the ears are going to perk up a little bit about when you hear those guys.
You're going to think it's Sunday night.
Yeah,
I'm there should be some folks there too. So I mean, it'll be a little more representative of getting back to fans in the stands. So, you know what though, wonder what I'm sure there's a line out there somewhere on the number of players that will play tonight that will actually make the active roster. I wonder I mean, it's got to be less than 60%.
Because right now the NFL changed it a few years ago. You have like 90 some.
They got a bunch of bodies out there
on your roster, and they do one major cut to 53 rather than the dwindle down. So you got a ton of guys.
There's a ton of dudes hanging out that are like, well, this will be fun, and I get to wear the uni and go out and do the deal, and this may be it.
And there's always a preseason star that ends up making it to, like, Victor Cruz came out of nowhere with the Giants, and we were salsa dancing for years after that.
The Cowboys have Hard Knocks this year, and I believe one of the second time, the first or second time they had it, Danny Amendola was.
That's right. He was
a training camp darling.
Yep, it's a good call.
Boy, Chandler. Hard Knocks, I believe, premiering next week. Either I want to say Wednesday.
You don't want to say the last time that the Cowboys had it. They had that Danny Amendola guy that came.
Good call, Mully.
I was Chandler and Chandler.
Ah, good.
You hadn't had a Chandler in a while.
Yeah, I was Chandler and Chandler.
I don't know how people would impersonate me, but just
channeling Chandler's Chandler.
Yes, correct.
That was a good impression.
Thank you, buddy.
Are you taking any kind of pills are you staying sharp doing crossword puzzles?
Coffee,
okay. It's for closers, I heard.
But now a lot of people tune into the Hall of Fame game, obviously, because it's the first football action we'll see all year. Do you think people?
Good call.
He did go Chandler on that one. He did. Went right back to it.
Do you think as much people would tune into the enshrinement ceremony on Saturday? Is that as big of a deal to the football game?
First off, let's address this. I don't know if as much, but as many would be probably correct. And
Molly, we don't do that on this show.
I would not. I would not imagine that as many people will watch.
There's a lot of big names in there.
It doesn't matter. They get up there and just talk forever.
Is Peyton Manning?
It
depends on if your guy's doing it. Like if the year Darryl Green or whatever. Like I'd watch a Redskins guy, but
right. See, But you're way more hardcore about stuff than I am.
But I have no interest here in. Like I've heard Peyton Manning talk a million times. He's great, but I'll just watch a clip online or something.
I mean, there's a certain point where we've got enough Peyton. I mean, Peyton.
He's already the face of so many businesses.
You're getting more this year. Did we? Were you here when we were talking about? No, it was Big Dog. It was. There's going to be like a simulcast on ESPN2 with the Mannings during Monday Night Football. Taken away from their Monday Night Football audience, although it's all ESPN.
Right.
But that kind of intrigues me. So I don't know. All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back. Can you hang out a few more minutes?
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
Sounded very.
Man, I'd love to. That'd be great.
All right. More with Mike Mullis when we return on Pirate Radio Live on a Thursday after this.
latest from the world of golf. Tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhouse and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're gonna love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Hey, Troy D here for my friends at Villa Verde. If you know me, you know I love being outside, but finding a good place to eat outside can sometimes be tough. Well, our pals at Villa Verde have fixed that. Not only does Villa Verde have awesome, unique, one-of-a-kind dishes here in Greenville, they also have a brand new outside dining area. And this outside area is sweet. It's covered, you're in the shade, and cooling fans are on. Enjoy the comfort and relaxation of dining outside with our friends at Villa Verde. Villa Verde on 10th Street, a platform for good.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Amanda Houston, and when it came time to make the game-winning play for relaxation at our house, I made the right call to Jamie Lang and Carolina Hardscapes. Jamie and his team built the backyard oasis of our dreams with a beautiful custom paver patio, outdoor lighting, and fireplace. Make your backyard incredible and call Carolina Hardscapes today at 364-1201 or visit their showroom on Fire Tower Road across from Bostic Suck. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
This is Stephen Igo. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on HoistTheColors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers.
Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates.
Ahoy there, mateys! It's Captain Jack Spare of R&R Tire Express, your local tire and wheel shop in Greenville, offering affordable, easy payment options for easy ownership, savvy? Our customers love our treasure of tires and wheels, easy payment options, and customer care package, too. To learn more about R&R, stop by 3920 US 264 or rnrtires.com.
This is Brian Packard, ECU former baseballer. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's for the best Mexican food and fun in Greenville. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp tacos, steak and chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, ACP, and more. Follow Chico's on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. For Mexican food and fun, it's gotta be Chico's for dine-in or to go. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Thursday. I'm making some lifestyle changes, and one of those is adding a Hawaiian shirt to my closet. And it is waiting for me when I get home. Well, they put the order in earlier this week. I got it ready to go, and I believe tomorrow, are we all going Hawaiian shirt?
I'm going Hawaiian shirt.
Yep, we are all going Hawaiian shirt.
So there you go.
Okay.
I think Big
Cash Fridays.
Mully will not be here, but
No, and I probably won't be wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Not if I were here, I would. I'm a team guy.
You are, if anything, if nothing else.
What you got on right there is pretty beachy.
Pretty beachy.
Well, I don't think that qualifies as Hawaiian, though. Typically, we'd have to have some type of pattern to it to be.
Right.
Hawaiian.
Flowers.
I mean, you could wear this shirt in Hawaii. I think you'd be okay. I don't think they'd kick you out, but I would not qualify this as a Hawaiian shirt. But thank you for the inclusion.
So that's exciting. We'll do that on Friday.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Had sports trivia last night, Chandler. How'd your team fare?
Yeah.
You were there up until round 3.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Mully the baseball question. Miguel Cabrera has 43 multi-home run games. That's the third most in Major League Baseball since 2003. I'll give you a clue here. The other two players are from the Dominican Republic. One is active, one is retired.
Manny Ramirez and active guy.
Old Cardinal to Dodger.
Cardinal to Dodger currently?
Yeah.
I mean, who isn't with the Dodgers?
Albert Pujols is the
guy. You know what? I cannot see him as a Dodger. I mean, I see him play as a Dodger, but I cannot see. What are the Dodgers doing?
And by the way, Manny's teammate was the other answer there.
Ortiz,
Big Puppy. So
what
are they doing? What do you mean? Ask Clayton McCullough. You text.
Well, no, I got it. But they're like stockpiling old folks.
Are you talking about the Lakers or the Dodgers?
Both. I mean,
Matt Scherzer had 10
really cool.
How did he do? I didn't even look at his debut.
He had 10 strikeouts last night in his debut.
Oh, Scherzer was lights out. But I'm more talking like Cole Hamels.
Oh, yeah. That was strange.
And then, I mean, Pujols is kind of strange.
And he's not even part of the normal everyday lineup or anything, I don't think. So, on that note, Mully, I don't know. I don't think my Braves will be a part of it. I still think the Mets are going to collapse, but it might be the Phillies.
Man, there'll be nothing more Met. They didn't get their first rounder signed.
How about that?
Kumar Rocker.
Yeah.
And then for the Yankees to get in the playoffs and the Mets not to get in the playoffs would be, I mean, that is just the most Met-like thing ever.
It's trending that way. By the way, the Mets 3 outs away from losing to the Marlins today. But
comical.
I don't know if my Braves will be in there, but the playoffs this year will be amazing because what the Dodgers, Padres, Giants did, what the White Sox did, Red Sox and Yankees always are active. They added. There's going to be like 7 all-star teams out there in postseason play.
I tell you what, we need some of these East Coast teams to tighten up a little bit, or we're going to be seeing some really, really late freaking World Series games.
Do you like watching it? It's kind of like when the Super Bowl's out there, night baseball, and it's light on the TV.
I mean, I don't mind it. It's just so late.
Well, they'll still start it at a normal time.
Well, it's not,
they might push it back to hour.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I don't.
Maybe 9:20 instead of 8.
That's correct.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me, but it's like, it's. But I'd like to see some, one of these East Coast teams catch fire. But it's almost a foregone conclusion. I mean, matter of fact, I think what they should just do is play around robin with the Dodgers, the Giants, and the Padres, and just let them fight it out.
NL West is crazy this year with what the Giants are doing. Mully, I don't think I have any more baseball topics. Wanted to ask you though. So the Olympics, you've been watching it all?
Yeah. Some, yeah.
Same.
I know baseball plays tonight in the gold medal game or whatever time, 6:00 maybe tomorrow morning or something.
I think it's Saturday at 6 a.m.
Maybe it is, yeah.
So yeah. And by the way, I would like to catch that actually. They're in the gold medal game against Japan, right?
Who beat them earlier, if I'm not mistaken.
They did. But the golf in the Olympics is just like your regular basic Barracuda championship. It's just
well, except they score traditionally.
That is true. Why don't they do, like, people love the Ryder Cup, right? Like the team event. Why don't they have some kind of like threesome, foursome deal?
So I heard Matt Kuchar talking about this. He was a bronze winner in Rio.
From? Where did he go to school?
From here. I mean, from Wake Forest.
Georgia Tech,
I'm sorry. Gracious, I'm struggling.
I don't know why.
Maybe I was thinking Webb Simpson was kind of where I was.
I don't know why I know that random piece of trivia.
No, but that's good.
That's impressive.
And he was saying, it all depends on what the spirit of. Well, I mean, what are they trying to do? Are they trying to determine the best golfer
in the world?
Right. And so if they're going to do that, that's really the way they're going about it. Really, in a great format either, because you don't have
the best
the greatest playing, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of a flaw in the system. And I don't know. I think we as consumers would obviously far prefer the team game, and then it's a team medal.
Guys high-fiving.
And look, I don't even think I think there's room for both. Even if they played a 2-day team event and a 2-day, and there's been talk about having it co-ed to where you're parents.
That would be cool too.
I think that'd be cool. So I agree with you. I would like to see that. Just from a consumer standpoint, but I really don't want it to take anything away from what we have now with the Ryder Cup and the President's Cup. But it is the Olympics, and it seems like that would be the way to do it, is some type of team format.
And we are just over a month away from the Ryder Cup.
Yeah,
this is a Ryder Cup year.
It is all over us. Yeah, it's one of those catch up years, so it'll be a little bit strange to see it at the time it's being played at, but we'll take it.
Mully, anything else going on in your world?
No, man, just
how's 5-star rocking and rolling?
Yeah, we're moving right along. Met with the good folks at Oakwood today. Spent a little time with them. We've already done a really cool project with them, but we're doing some updating. So yeah, everything's good, man.
From Oakwood to East Carolina University to North Carolina,
Wake Forest,
everything in between.
Yeah, so
good stuff.
Yep.
All right, thanks for hanging out, man.
Yeah, always good.
Have a great weekend. We will take a time out, come back, talk some NFL. We'll run over some props. Who will have the most passing yards, rushing yards, receiving yards in the NFL this season, and maybe talk some Hall of Fame game with Jeff Nadu. Big Man on Campus joins us when we return after this.
You've worked hard to start your business and working even harder to make it successful. And that's why it's important to have a bank in your corner when you need them. This is former ECU baseball player Ashley Capps from Select Bank and Trust, and as the business world throws you curveballs, we're here to be responsive to your needs. Our team of local bankers can make local decisions and cares about you, the customer. Get the business services that are right for your business today with Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
Hello, Greenville and Pitt County. We at Pitt County Schools want you to know that we are a thriving and connected school system ready and open for all students this year. We are offering all in-person learning with limited virtual options while operating on a 5-day, full-day schedule for our 38 school campuses. Pitt County Schools offers rigorous academic opportunities such as dual language programs, STEM engagement, global education, and college readiness. We also offer competitive athletics, full support for exceptional children, and career readiness opportunities such as paid apprenticeships and unique business partnerships. Pitt County Schools is fully committed to engage, empower, and elevate every student every day. Visit our website today at pittschools.org, where you'll find our new jam-packed strategic plan, our new mission and vision, our profile of a learner, or check out our unique preschools, elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, and early colleges. Pitt County Schools, engaging, empowering, and elevating every student every day.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs, 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
Sawyer's Fun Park is now open in Greenville. This state-of-the-art 40,000 square foot facility features a 2-story LED interactive laser tag, a one-of-a-kind 2-story ninja course, a ropes course with a 180-degree zip line, and it's only one of 5 in the country that are indoors. Multiple climbing walls, a super cool arcade with 40-plus games, and a brand new full-service cafe and bar for adults. Visit the brand new Sawyer's Fun Park, now open, located right behind ARU on Corey Road, Greenville.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Hey Birdland, the Orioles Ticket Marketplace is the best place to score Orioles ticket deals, including single game tickets, ticket packs, special offers, and more. The Orioles Ticket Marketplace is the fastest, easiest, and most affordable way for you to purchase tickets. By using the Orioles Ticket Marketplace, you can beat the lines at the box office. This is your one-stop shop to get exclusive deals, so check back often for the latest opportunities. Don't wait. Visit the Orioles Ticket Marketplace today at Orioles.com/tickets.
This is Big John Williams, strength and conditioning coach for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. University PC Care has been Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. University PC Care are the local tech support experts for any of your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, got the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu, hanging on. We'll get to him in just a moment. But first, we would like to wish a happy birthday to a man who does a lot behind the scenes and sometimes in front of the camera and microphone. Glenn Griffin, the big dog, is celebrating a birthday today. So I would like to, for us, to sing. Dog.
Glenn Griffin. Dog.
I would like us to sing happy birthday if you are riding in your car. You, your kids, your significant other. I would like for you all to sing along. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear big dog. Happy birthday to you.
Well done.
That might have been our best.
Okay. Are we the new Brooks and Dunn?
There was only 2 in Brooks and Dunn.
I know.
Wow.
Brooks and Dunn.
What he's trying to say is, Shirley, you're out of the band.
You're out of the band.
No. We're the Bee Gees.
Guys, that was actually pretty good.
We're the Bee Gees.
Hey, the Bee Gees, come on, Michelle.
You want to come on my show?
Happy birthday, big dog.
We've got some music trivia coming up. Pirate Radio music trivia. Shirley versus listener Steve Hill.
Nice.
On Tuesday.
Yeah, we've been jawing back and forth, so it'll be fun.
You guys have been practicing on that app, right?
Yeah.
That he got you hooked on.
Yeah, Steve has this app. It's a music app that you can just play. Basically, what it does is it plays a snippet of a song, and you identify either the song or the artist. You get extra points if you get both. And he had a 228 game winning streak, which means Steve's been playing a lot longer than I have. However, due to recent events, I haven't been able to play much.
By the way, let me just say, I mean, congratulations to you and Steve, but it's like, who sang this song? Stop. Hammer time.
Well,
It's like kindergarten.
Oh, you're talking about the game they play? Yeah.
It's super easy.
Yeah, it is super easy, but, I mean, there are times where... Now, here's the thing. Obviously, because of... YouTube.
YouTube.
Rules and regulations. it's difficult to play the song. So it's going to be a little bit harder because you're not going to hear the melody. There's going to be instances where you're just going to read a lyric and you have to guess the song. And that's actually a little bit more difficult than, just hearing the song and identifying it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I hope I don't fall flat on my face, but we'll see what happens.
All right. Guy that stole my dad's truck when I was a kid just sent me a friend request on Facebook.
What?
Wow. Accept it and confront him.
Wait. No, I need to know I need this story.
No, he's sending you a friend request so he can apologize.
We've talked to him since then. They found the truck, apologized. No, he was a kid, and my dad's a farmer, so like a lot of farmers, they leave things unlocked.
He's a bad kid, Jeff.
So he could just get right into the truck at 5 a.m. in the morning and go to. But he apparently came to the driveway one night while we were all sleeping and took it, and him and a buddy were just headed to South Carolina.
Whoa!
What in the world,
yeah.
man?
I would figure they just went joyriding through a cornfield or something.
Yeah, they were.
They were going
you knew
south
this
of the
guy?
border.
Yeah, I went to school with him.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Okay, wait.
You saw him in math class the next week.
Yeah.
Okay, so how were you able to determine who had taken the truck?
I can't remember. It was found somehow, and
they fingerprinted the truck. They brought out CSI.
It happened, if I recall, very quickly. The next, so that was, I guess, in the morning. Maybe the next day or that night or whatever. It happened very fast. I remember his dad, because his dad was my. He had a brother closer to my age. His dad was my Little League baseball coach. We all knew each other, so it was awkward. But it was a weird deal.
He pretty much started you every game from here on out, right?
I got to clean up
as an apology for his son.
No, it was a weird deal. But anyway,
being a truck jacker.
Now I have to decide if I want to accept the friend request or not.
Oh, the debate. Will you decide by the end of the show?
Yes, I will. I'll have two hats on the table. One with a Facebook thumbs up, one with a thumbs down.
Oh, this will be nice. I'll have to wait and see how this goes.
All right, let's.
Big man's probably ready to talk.
Let's go.
Oh, wait.
He's already.
Okay, yeah, he's on the line. Okay, gotcha.
And we'll talk some football now with Jeff Nadu, the big man on campus, who joins us on a Thursday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Big man, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you, Cliff?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Jeff, from a personal note, the easiest bet going in sports was the Atlanta Braves. If they lose the previous game, you bet on them to win the next one. If they won the previous night, you bet on them to lose the next night. That streak finally ended last night as they won 2 in a row. So, Jeff, right now, the easiest bet going is to bet Team USA men's basketball at halftime. I have jumped on this the last 2 games where they have looked bad in the first half and then pretty much dominated the second half. I have not watched a single minute of any of it, but I've been following along, and I've been up late enough at night to get on them at halftime these last 2 games. But for whatever they're not doing in the first half, they seem to be doing it in the second half of games.
Yeah, this is kind of them just kind of turning on the jets and just being better than everyone else. I mean, we heard about, all the things were falling down when they lost that first game, but, I just think they didn't really care, or they were kind of tired and just out of shape, not ready to go. But, yeah, they're good. They're going to win gold, and it's not surprising. I haven't watched it either. I guess for me, I was just a little basketballed out, to be honest.
Yeah.
With the season going so late and the draft and that kind of stuff. So, looks like they're going to cruise to a gold medal.
Jeff, you've been on this for months. I've been in denial. I've been trying not to hear about it, try not to think about it, but the Deshaun Watson to Philly rumors are flying once again, and it's turning more into maybe news than rumors at this point. So what's the talk up there in Philly, Jeff, about potentially the Eagles getting a new quarterback in Deshaun Watson?
Well, I think from everything I'm seeing, none of it's good. I think you obviously have to have 2 viewpoints. From a football standpoint, Deshaun Watson is among the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and on this team, he had immediately vaulted them into a solid football team, because the thought with the Eagles is the concern at the highest level is the quarterback. Now, I love Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to be solid, but we really don't know. We know Deshaun Watson is a Pro Bowl, could be an MVP type of caliber quarterback. So that's not the problem. It's the elephant in the room that Deshaun Watson has a lot of issues right now, 24 issues of some, and some are now criminal. Now, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, I think the Eagles obviously know a lot more than the fan base does about what is going to be the outcome of all this. The truth is, he's not going to be deposed on any of this until the season's over. Now, I will admit, I think a lot of America lives in the whole, well, it's my opinion is what matters.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not how it works. At the end of the day, the NFL has literally no basis, frankly, to suspend him. He's not been charged with crimes. He's not being deposed, and frankly, he has a trial or a deposition to prove his innocence. Now, I think he'll play this season, and I think the Eagles are looking at it there. But I also have to ask, what would be the issue here? Is he going to be? Will he be suspended? Will you be without him for 2 years? Is stuff like this true? Is 24 people lying? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not someone that's going to depose anybody. But I think the Eagles are surely the team that is most likely to take him in. If you ask me as a fan, do I want it to happen? From a football standpoint, absolutely. But I don't think that we can obviously live in that world because there's a lot going on outside of it. I would feel like we just go towards Jalen Hurts, and look, if Jalen's terrible, well, then you're going to be a bad team, and you just maybe look towards a quarterback next year. And
I guess, Jeff, as much as a team and specifically the Eagles would have to give up to get him, they're not going to do that without knowing he's available to play, right? I mean, that would be a super risk to do it, say, today and not know what his future is playing football in 2021.
Right, and like I said, I think in 2021 he'll probably play. I just don't really see anything valid, argument. They can, because he'll just say, "Well, there are allegations. They're not convictions; they're allegations."
Yeah.
That's the main thing here. But we'll see. I think with Deshaun Watson, the Eagles have a problem sometimes with just taking shots on things, and I want them to see with Jalen Hurts, but they did it with Michael Vick. If they could somehow keep Jalen Hurts somehow in all this and still make the trade, then I'd be okay with it. But it seems like Hurts would be the one in this trade if they get him back.
Are you, I don't know how split the fan base is on this, but are you one that thinks Jalen Hurts could be a winner there in Philadelphia, if not this year, in the future?
I think the fan base is surely in favor that Jalen Hurts is the guy, but this fan base is largely, at least from an Eagles standpoint, I mean, it's football here. That's the main sport here. So every fan has the thought that the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Right.
And I think a lot of them love Jalen Hurts. I haven't really heard, if I have 10 Eagles fans, I think 9, possibly 10 would say they like Jalen Hurts and they're excited about him and they think he'll be good.
Jeff Nadu joining us. Jeff, I'll put you on the spot here. Didn't give you any topics to study, but I'm looking at some props we have not really touched on in the NFL so far, and that's most passing yards, most rushing yards, most receiving yards. We'll start with passing. The favorites are pretty obvious with Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Tom Brady up there as well. Then you get to Josh Allen fourth. Who, outside the obvious would you look at here? Justin Herbert in year 2. Matt Ryan could be playing a lot of garbage time minutes and lighting it up. Matthew Stafford with his new team. You got Rodgers down there. Anybody, Kyler Murray is way down there as well, although he does a lot of damage with his legs. Any quarterbacks outside of the obvious you might take a stab at here with most passing yards in the regular season?
Yeah, I'd be looking at Matthew Stafford. I've said again and again, I think he's in a really good situation down there or over there in L.A. Plus, we have to talk about the fact that they're pretty weak at running back. I think this turns into, a 65, 35 offense as far as passing the football. They have a kid that can gunsling it around. They have an offense that is very much going to be pass heavy. We know that Sean McVay likes to do that. I think they use a lot of split back stuff. They involve the running backs. They don't have a guy now that, especially with Cam Akers out, that you want to kind of use as a power back and they're going to run the ball a ton. I think he's kind of an interesting guy. If he could stay healthy, obviously that's always the problem with him and whether he could stay healthy. But you look at their skill position players, there's a ton of speed there. There's a lot of young speed there. There's some veterans there. There's some guys that can catch the football and be high-level receivers. I like a lot of what they have over there.
Yeah.
A pretty good offensive line. I think Stafford's worth maybe a look.
I'm with you. I'm really high on Matthew Stafford and the Rams in 2021. How about receiving yards? DeAndre Hopkins, Stephon Diggs at the top of the list. Justin Jefferson coming off a great rookie campaign going into year 2. And then you got names Kelsey, Ridley, Metcalf. You've got 2 Titans that are close on the odds list, Jeff. They kind of cancel each other out, I think, in A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. So how about any receiver stand out to you that's maybe not as obvious as the ones on the top?
Yeah, I think honestly with this, like a team like the Titans, I would have no interest in betting this because there's just guys that, as you said, cancel each other out, and there's going to be too much ball sharing there. When you look at a top scorer in the NBA, Allen Iverson was perfect because there was no one else in that team that scored, really. I would look at Stephon Diggs, surely. I think he's the main guy in that room. I mean, he's going to get a ton of targets. We have Cole Beasley. We have a thought that he may not play this year. I think we have to really come to that realization with him. Like, he's not going to get vaccinated. I don't know. We'll see what happens there, but I think he's, as far as Stephon Diggs, the guy. I mean, it seems like he generated a really good rapport. It seemed like if they threw the ball 5 times, they were throwing to him 4 out of those 5 times. So, yeah, I would take a shot with him probably.
Calvin Ridley kind of fits that category too, Jeff, but Stephon Diggs is a known commodity at this point. Ridley, his first year really being the guy, but there's not...
And they always lead the league, or right up top lead the league in passing frequency, so passing percentage. But, yeah, I would stay away from, Cardinals a lot because I think their offense would be pretty dynamic.
Devontae Adams may be a good example of what you're talking about too, where he's a man on an island kind of.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, and as far as rushing goes, your name's at the top. Derrick Henry, obviously. Dalvin Cook finally was healthy last year, put together a good year. Nick Chubb, Christian McCaffrey off injury. Ezekiel Elliott is out there, Jeff, with a pretty big number beside his name, bigger than it should be, I think, with... I don't know. If that Cowboys offense gets rolling, he could put up some yards. How about running back-wise? Who do you like here?
Yeah, I think he's one of the more overrated players in the NFL, in my opinion. I'm just not that impressed ever with him. I think they're going to throw the football a lot as well. I would look towards Dalvin Cook. I mean, I think that offense is, where do you go, right? I mean, I think it's clearly a run-first offense. It's kind of what it is. It's pounding the football down the throat of their opponent. I like Thielen and Jefferson Shirley, but I think he's a real feature in that backfield. And, he's another one. You kind of want to see how healthy he is. But, I don't think you can go wrong with just kind of taking the chalk here in Derrick Henry. And what about your boy down in Carolina, So...
McCaffrey's going to do so much. If you could do a total yards, I would be all over McCaffrey, but he's receiving, rushing, everything. All right, so Jeff is smart with his bets, and nobody's saying that the big man wins every bet, but he puts research into it. He has a reason to bet it. I know you have no reason to bet preseason football tonight, Jeff, but I'm trying to get you to join me and the degenerates in the mud and do something. I'm going under and Cowboys tonight just because it's the first football game. Will you have anything on the line tonight in this preseason game?
Well, Cliff, it's something that I try to surprise you every chance I get, and I actually bet this.
All right.
An hour ago.
Let's go.
I took... I laid a half of a point in the first half with the Steelers, actually.
Okay.
At plus 100. I think it's a pretty good bet. Mike Tomlin has kind of come out and talked that Mason Rudolph is going to be the starter. I think if we can get a good amount of time with him, I think he's the best quarterback, at least that will play in this game. I'd much rather have him over a Garrett Gilbert. When you look at kind of the depth of the Steelers, particularly on offense, I think there's a lot of things to shake out. I like Freiermuth, this tight end out of Penn State. I think he's a guy that is going to be a guy that gets involved. Anthony McFarland out of Kentucky. I like their offensive line. I think there's a lot of position battles up front, a lot of good play probably out of them. Dwayne Haskins, maybe we see him at some point. I don't hate him either. I think he's a better option probably than some of the quarterbacks for the Steelers. So I think what we have with the Steelers, James Washington as well. He's trying to kind of show his, as a solid role in this team. So I'm going to go with them. I think they have a lead here in the first half. I think they probably lose the game, but if there's like a halftime, full-time, maybe I have interest there as well. All
right.
I'm going to lean towards the Steelers.
And, Jeff, I doubt preseason football is something you get into, but is it possible to even see, like, lineups, who's available, who's not for these things moving forward this preseason?
Yes. I think if you read into the media and stuff.
Yeah.
Sure, but
point being, it's hard to know who's going to be on the field and when they're going to be on the field for these things. So better to stay away, obviously.
Sure.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What else you got going on, Jeff, in the world of sports and gambling? Anything else? Baseball? Anything else going on?
Well, it seems like all the time. I get calls all the time from people. I get DMs all the time. Hey, you interested in doing something? Hey, you interested in doing something? I've actually over the last week got a really kind of interesting opportunity that I'm possibly going to work on that is really kind of outside of the box. Kind of melds two interests that I have. So, and that's something I haven't really talked about at all. So I'm hoping that all kind of can work out. But, really just getting ready for football. I am going to be on Pick Central, which I don't know if you were going to allude to, but I'll just say it. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
There's always wild things going on in my life. And I just try to make the best out of some of them, see where they all go, and football.
Well, I look forward to seeing you Monday on Pick Central at noon there with Barstool Sports. That'll be interesting. So, a lot of storylines leading into that, big man. Also, the host of the Sit Down podcast. Folks can tune into that for Mafia history. Our Chandler Honeycutt has been downloading and listening to some of those, Jeff. So keep up the good work there, and we'll reconvene with you Monday afternoon, man.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm trying to meld football, gambling, and the mob all together in some way. So stay tuned.
If anybody can do it, I'm assuming that'll be you'd be the person to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff. Have a good weekend, man.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
Jeff Nadu joining us on the Fixed NC Live Line Hall of Fame game coming up tonight, Cowboys and Steelers. We will take a timeout, come back. We will talk some football with Emory Hunt, football game plan, CBS Sports HQ. We'll get his thoughts on the Pirates, the American, the ACC, talk some NFL, and more when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Best-selling author and motivational speaker, John Gordon.
The research shows those are the marriages that are more likely to stay together, where the spouse says, or the partner says, hey, can you show me this, or can you help me with the groceries? And you just make those small moments, small interactions of time. That is really the number one predictor of whether a marriage stays together.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
In a world of fake profiles, fake tans, and fake flavors, naturally flavored Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer strives for realness. It's USDA certified organic, with no sugar or carbs, and only 80 calories. So the only thing touching your taste buds is organic, refreshing, and delicious. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer. As real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly. Not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer. IRC Beer. St. Louis, Missouri 63118.
Trying to decide where to get your car washed? Well, let Tommy's make it an easy decision with free unlimited car washes for the month of August. All you have to do is go to your app store, download the Tommy's Express app, enter code NCJM. That's the promo code NCJM. Select the unlimited quality wash, register your vehicle, and you're good to go with free car washes all of August. If you like it and keep it, it's only $19.99 a month. If not, you control it and you can cancel it anytime. Tommy's Express on the corner of Red Banks Road and Greenville Boulevard, Greenville.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
Anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those, but anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you? 252-999-0001
or fixednc.com.
Down East Wood Ducks baseball is back. Come out Friday, August 13th for the Halloween jersey giveaway, presented by Spirit Aero Systems. Free to the first 1,000 fans. Be sure to purchase your game tickets in advance at woodducksbaseball.com or call the Wood Ducks offices at 252-686-5164. See you at Granger Stadium when gates open at 5 and first pitch is at 6. Go Woodies! Pirate fans, get ready for a winning season and team up with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer and proud sponsor of the ECU Pirates. When you do business with us, you'll get things done right. We're proud to offer a large selection of new and used John Deere equipment, a fully stocked parts department, and a highly trained staff who is here to support you throughout the life of your equipment. So get quality done right before every ECU game day and visit QualityEquip.com.
Hello, this is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now's the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage at historically low rates. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250, Equal Housing Lender.
The best place for delicious food and great prices is Familia. Familia has $6 lunch specials, a $10 pizza of the week, and every Thursday has $2 drafts all day. Sunday brunch is the best for food and family. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp and grits, made-to-order omelets, French toast, and drink specials like $3 mimosas, beer mimosas, or $5 Bloody Marys. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Brown & Wood is your home of the best selection of GMC, Cadillac, Buick, and Mazda in Eastern North Carolina. For over 83 years, shop their entire inventory online at brownandwoodauto.com or visit them on Greenville Boulevard. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, back with you. Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Coming up later on this hour, we will hear from Stephen Igo, Hoist the Colors. Got some Holton Ahlers and Jaquan McMillan audio to get to from AC Media Day. And in Hour 3, Troy D will be here. We'll talk to former Pirate Phoenix Evans. He'll join us inside the Pirate Radio studio, so a big Hour 3 on tap as well. Right now, we will talk some football, get you ready for the college football and NFL season with Emory Hunt at F-Ball Game Plan on Twitter. We watch him just about every day. He's on CBS Sports HQ, also a part of Sportsline as well. And Emory, welcome back to Pirate Radio. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine, man. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yes, sir. And Emory, we're going to go over a lot of topics, a lot of teams today, but we're going to start with East Carolina, year 3 of Mike Houston, and the media poll in the American was released earlier this week, has the Pirates 8th in the league. Holton Ahlers back at quarterback. In fact, Emory, like a lot of teams, a lot of returners on the Pirates with players getting that extra year. So Mike Houston finally has a little depth. He's finally got some of his own recruits in. We'll see if it pays off on the field. What's your take on East Carolina and how they stack up in the American this year?
Well, they'll have that benefit of, they were young last year and, everyone virtually back for this team. So they're going to have the benefit of having experience, just like everyone else. But I think for them, being able to apply what they learned last year and have real-life game experience to draw back on and, to carry over to 2021 should help them be much more competitive. I know they lose Deontay Smith up front. That was a tremendous loss at tackle, but you get experience back at quarterback and Ahlers. I'm a big fan of the running back, Rajai Harris. So I just think that it should be much better from a competitive standpoint, which is great for the AAC top to bottom.
And the AAC looks a little top heavy, Emory, when you look at Cincinnati and then UCF. I put them in a tier together. Do you think year one of Gus Malzahn is ready to maybe challenge Cincinnati for the top spot in the American this year?
I don't think so. I think it's still about defense in this conference. And as much as we love UCF and what they can do offensively, I need to know if they can stop someone. And, they bring in Big Cat from Auburn, all SEC player, but we still have to see how good this defense can be. And to me right now, you still have to look at Cincinnati and what they bring to the table on both sides of the ball. Experience at quarterback with Ritter. Defensively, yes, you lose some significant pieces in the secondary, but their front seven is still one of the best in college football. And I do think they still are a notch above the rest in this conference.
It's a tough conference week in, week out, Emory. And how about ECU's non-conference schedule this year? Appalachian State, South Carolina, Marshall, and Charleston Southern. Let's get a quick note or two on those teams, starting with Appalachian State. That'll be ECU's first opponent on Thursday, September 2nd. Emory, what do you think about the Mountaineers this year?
Well, they are one of the tougher teams to play coming out the Sun Belt Conference. They're always up there with Louisiana, Coastal Carolina, Georgia Southern. So that's going to be a real battle for East Carolina. That's a team that they're going to have to really show up for. They're breaking in a new quarterback in Chase Bryce, so they may have an advantage there. East Carolina does, but, we talk about the run game of App State and what they do defensively. It's going to be a challenge, but I think in that matchup, if it were me, I do think East Carolina has the better quarterback going into that ball game.
How about South Carolina, Emory, year one of Shane Beamer there, and they are picked near or at the bottom of the SEC, but you got to imagine they got a lot of talent there, I would think. What do you think about the Beamer hire, and what are the Gamecocks going to look like in 2021?
Interesting hire, though. I'm interested to see how it works out. I know they're bringing in some transfers. Jason Brown was phenomenal at St. Francis, at FCS program here in the Northeast Conference, and I'm talking about a guy that has a deep arm that can go all the way down the field. So it'll be interesting to watch him hit the ground running. But they have a tremendous run game, and they lose Shi Smith at receiver. They lose some pieces up front on both sides of the line of scrimmage, and they lose J.C. Horn obviously. So there's some questions about South Carolina going into the year. And if you're looking at this from an East Carolina standpoint, this will be a great opportunity to try to catch a team slipping, right? That fly in the ointment type game, that game that someone overlooked an opponent. This will be a fun matchup to watch, I believe, because there's a lot of uncertainty around South Carolina going into this year.
Emory Hunt joining us at F-Ball Game Plan. Emory, Week 3, September 18th, Pirates go to Huntington to face Marshall. Another coaching change there, and I don't know what was going on the inside there, but was surprised to see Doc Holliday out at Marshall. Charles Huff, year one, head coach now with the Thundering Herd. Where do they stack up in Conference USA, in your opinion?
I like Marshall, and I was just like you. I was shocked to see the news about Doc Holliday leaving, but Coach Huff inherits a very good team, a really good quarterback, and behind a veteran offensive line and a team that can really run the football. But unfortunately, they lose the premier talent at tackle. They lose their other premier talent at guard who transferred out the program to Power 5, and their running back Brendan Knox is off to the NFL. But defensively, without Devontae Beckett, without Darius Hodge, there's some questions about the front seven, but Marshall is one of those teams that just reload. And watching those guys play in the secondary, I think they match up very well against whoever they're going to face. So that's one team that's going to be competitive, and we'll see how it works out up front. But I know they, with the coaching change and them losing some key pieces to graduations and transferring, it'll be interesting to see how they look this year. But I do think they'll be one of the top tier teams in Conference USA.
And Emory, another reason I like having you on, you know a lot about the FCS schools as well, and boy, that has not gone ECU's way over the years, although hopefully we got that cleaned up. But James Madison, North Carolina A&T have beaten the Pirates, in the Scotty Montgomery era. How about Charleston Southern? I don't think they are at quite the program that those two schools are. I will say it was cool earlier this offseason to talk to Autry Denson, Notre Dame's all-time leading rusher, as their head coach, and we were able to have have him on the show, and it was a great chat with Coach Denson. But Charleston Southern, Emory, are they a team that could give ECU trouble, you think, when they come to Greenville?
It'll be tough for them. They were struggling in the spring, and they were competitive, but and I like Archie Denson. I was a big fan of his game at Notre Dame and how he ran the football. He gets himself into a good situation. We saw Chadwell, who's now the head coach at Coastal Carolina, have some success down there at Charleston Southern, so it can be done. It's going to take them another year or two for them to be where they need to be, especially in the Big South Conference. So I'm excited to see what they were able to do this year, coming from the spring where, again, they were competitive, and how much of that can carry over into fall practice and into the fall season.
Emory Hunt joining us. Emory, let's head west from Greenville, North Carolina a little bit and go to the center of the state and talk about the ACC schools. And who's at the top of the North Carolina ACC schools, Emory? Do you go Mac Brown and maybe the most talented quarterback in the country, Sam Howell, or do you like what Dave Dorn and the Wolfpack are doing coming off a good year? Who's the best team in the state when it comes to the Atlantic Coast Conference?
Well, that's a great question, and I like both teams, but I like them for different reasons. I like the running game at North Carolina State, but I like the quarterback at North Carolina. And defensively, you have to like both teams. I think we're going to see, probably one of the better defensive teams from both of these squads this year. But North Carolina, because of the experience with Sam Howell and experience in that offense and not breaking in a new quarterback, plus, yes, they lose those two NFL running backs that they had last year, but they get a transfer, Ty Chandler from Tennessee, who's a really good back, and he's joining the fray. So I think right now North Carolina has a slight edge over NC State, but, man, NC State, I just love what they have on the perimeter. I love what they have in the backfield. Defensively, they got some athletes. I worry about the quarterback position.
Emory, big picture wise, it's Clemson's to lose, I guess, in the ACC. Is it the same for Bama and Ohio State? Like, if one of the big boys that we're used to seeing in the playoff doesn't win their respective conference this year, which one would it be? Alabama, Clemson, or Ohio State?
I think it'll be Clemson because you have North Carolina that can play. You saw them have trouble last year with Boston College before they came back and won. Miami has an experienced quarterback in De'Aaron King, but Miami is so inconsistent, and you don't know which Miami you're going to get on any given day. We just talked about NC State and how their defense should be good. There's a lot of expectation right there in Raleigh. So I think Clemson has a tougher chance. Ohio State is unique because they're so doggone good on both sides of the line of scrimmage. I think in the backfield they're going to be fine. Yes, they're breaking in a new quarterback, so that's going to always be a transition. But I think defensively and their ability to run the football should be enough to give them a nod in the Big Ten.
Talking to Emory Hunt, going over college football. Emory, how about what's happening right now? Texas, Oklahoma, off to the SEC. If they play out their grant of rights deal, it won't be until after the 2025 season. Mike Oresco and the American have appeared to be pretty aggressive here, trying to add Big 12 schools rather than get poached by the Big 12. You've seen stories about Kansas potentially going to the Big 10, a Big 12, Pac-12 merger. I don't know, Emory. How do you even begin to look and see what's going to be the case in college football 3-4 years from now? What do you think it's going to look like?
It's going to look ridiculous. I just wish we can go back to a smaller regional conference setup, man. The money going to come regardless. The money was going to come when TV got more, prominent around the different conferences. The reason why you had those conferences and those big TV deals, because TV was more linear now, or then, as opposed to what it is now. Everyone's on TV now, so I feel like if you're good, the TV and all those big contracts will follow regardless. So I wish we just go back to more of a smaller regional, conference that makes sense. But if you're looking at the AAC, I mean, they're in good areas too, and I think, they can absorb a team in TCU or something like that, or Baylor, all those Texas Big 12 schools, because they got a base in Texas already with SMU and Houston. But if you're the Big 12, I would try to focus more on someone like a BYU, someone like that, or someone within that footprint. Try to get Nebraska to come back out of the Big 10 into the Big 12. Instead of, or maybe you reach out to North Dakota State. It's just trying to grab everybody, and everybody can't be in the SEC, and you can't have 20 teams in the Big Ten, and you can't have teams on the East Coast in the Pac-12. Just we just stop the nonsense and just get back to smaller conferences to where it makes sense and help strengthen those rivalries.
Yeah, well said. We say it a lot, Emory. Not a lot of common sense goes into this stuff anymore. Notre Dame, at some point, Emory, are they okay with the NBC, Peacock, whatever they got going, that they can continue to be independent, or are they going to have to jump to the ACC, the Big Ten, hell, the SEC? Who knows at some point? What do you think about Notre Dame in the near future?
They make the most sense to me in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
They're like Penn State. When Penn State was independent for that long period of time, you're right there in Big Ten country. Go ahead on it and jump in the Big Ten. Notre Dame should do the same thing. You got Northwestern right there. You play a lot of Big Ten schools anyway. You got Northwestern right there. Illinois is nearby. Indiana's in the same state. It just makes so much sense. And I think that's the route they should go. If you're Pitt, Pitt probably should lean more to the Big Ten as opposed to, staying in the ACC. Or how about you just bring back the Big East? And it just stuff that much easier to put those, old Big East teams back in the conference by themselves. Because I just wish that we just get back to, a classic setup of conferences, and therefore you have more parity. Everyone's going to be on TV. Everybody's going to be on the streaming device. Some streaming network. So it just doesn't make sense to have 75 teams in the SEC.
Yeah.
Just pointless.
Emory Hunt joining us. You can follow him on Twitter at FBall Game Plan. We'll talk about everything he's got going on before we wrap up the conversation. Emory, want to talk a little NFL before we let you go. I always ask you about my Washington football team, the defense. You could argue top 5 in the league. Certainly the front 4 is top 5 in the league with what they've done. Now they bring in, Ryan Fitzpatrick, give him a little help with Terry McLaurin, with Curtis Samuel. They look like they found something with Antonio Gibson. Starting to get a little excited about Ron Rivera's group, Emory, but you got Dak and the Cowboys looming. We'll see what Daniel Jones, kind of maybe a make or break year for him, and then what is Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia. So a lot of questions in that NFC East. How do you think it plays out this year?
I think it goes in order of, like quarterback play, and talent. So you got Dak Prescott is the clear class of the division.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is a better football player than Daniel Jones and protects the football a lot better, so I'm going with the Eagles second. I trust Daniel Jones more than I trust Ryan Fitzpatrick. Even though the Washington football team has a better defense, it's just Ryan Fitzpatrick, I believe, will be the reason why Washington finishes with 7 or maybe 8 wins. And the Giants, on paper, talent alone, is an 8 or 9 win team. And Daniel Jones could be the difference in between them just hitting that 8 or 9 mark or getting to 10 and 11. But I do think people underestimate Philly and how good they're going to be running the football and how good that defensive front 7 will be because of their ability to run the football and how they can play complementary offense with Jalen Hurts. And I think that's why I see Philly more so ahead of the rest out of the Washington football team and the Giants. But if Dallas is healthy, Dak is healthy, Dallas is running away with that division.
Emory Hunt, you heard it here first, and you just wonder, you think Dallas will be able to stop people this year, Emory? They were unable to do so a year ago. Did they clean that up?
If they don't have to be the number 1 defense.
Yeah.
Can't be 32nd. And so if they get to the top 15, then that means that's an extra stop or 2 a game, which is more than what they were able to do last year.
Yeah.
And when an offense that scores 35 points, it's going to be you'll lose a lot of games 35 to, let's say, 26. And that's all you really need if you're Dallas.
Emory, a lot of Panthers fans tuned in. They get Sam Darnold, kind of a low risk move. Maybe he's got something and was just harmed by the Jets organization and being coached by Adam Gase, or maybe he's just not a starting NFL quarterback. We shall see. What do you think about the Panthers coming up in 2021?
I love the talent across the board: offensive line, skill players, depth in the backfield. Defense is young and getting better and got more talent added to the roster. But you're right, it's all about Sam Darnold. He's like the Daniel Jones of this football team, where he's the difference between them winning more than 9 games or under 9 games. And for him, it's not about he played with, Adam Gase or played with Todd Bowles. It's the fact that he hasn't finished a full season. And that's the biggest thing for him. You have to be able to be out there for a full 17-game season, because otherwise he has to restart that clock. And because he'll start to play well, then he'll get hurt or miss a game or two, then he has to restart that process. So if he can stay out there full, 17-game season, maybe we get a better idea of what he can potentially be moving forward. But right now he's still, to me, a relative unknown. And the known that we do have of him so far, it's been inconsistent in turnovers, which is not good.
Emory, I think the division in the NFC I'm looking forward to the most and seeing how it plays out is the NFC West. On paper, I guess the addition of Stafford with McVay and all the talent the Rams have, they are the favorite, but you could make an argument that all these teams are a playoff team and can win that division. Here's a question for you, though. When does Trey Lance start for the 49ers? Who is the week 1 starter for San Francisco?
That's a good question, yeah. Well, judging by one throw in training camp, all of them love Trey Lance week 1. So, and it's to be completely honest, the preseason is set up for guys like Trey Lance to ball out. So that buzz is going to get stronger. But I do think we'll see Garoppolo start week 1, with Lance probably starting by week 3.
Emory, is it still is the NFC Tampa Bay's to lose, or do you have somebody up there above them?
Dallas is the team to watch, man. And here's the thing: people talk about the Buccaneers as if they went 17-0 last year.
Right.
Theoretically, the Bucs should have lost all those playoff games outside of the Super Bowl. The Saints had them beat until Jared Cook's arms decided to not work. He fumbled that football. Then Green Bay had them beat. Braves and 3 picks in that ball game. And then Washington had an opportunity.
Taylor Heineke had him on the ropes, Emory, for a little while there.
Had him on the ropes, right? So, the only game the Bucs looked dominant was the Super Bowl. So,
yeah,
we'll see what Bucs we're going to get this year. But to their credit, they returned everybody, and I'm talking about all 22 starters, all coordinators, and a head coach. So, yeah, they'll be tough to beat. But let's not act like they were the 85 Bears out there during the playoffs.
Emory, one more, we'll let you run. In the AFC, who is the Chiefs' biggest challenge? Do you go, let's see, Tennessee, Baltimore, Buffalo, or somebody I didn't mention? Who challenges them?
I think all of those teams, Baltimore, Buffalo, Cleveland. Cleveland had an opportunity last year. Baltimore's defense will always give them a chance, and they have the dynamic playmaker in Lamar Jackson. Buffalo had their opportunity, and I just think that if we're being honest, you look at the Patriots' defense, and everybody back healthy, opting back in, should make them a much better football team. But I just think the team that you listed are the serious contenders for Kansas City.
Emory, looking ahead, I'm sure you've looked at lines. I don't know if you got anything out there yet. You'll be, I guess, making some picks on Sportsline when the time comes. But any week 0 college football, week 1 college football, or NFL lines you're already circling for the season?
Whatever the line is in Louisiana versus Texas, take Louisiana, because my Raging Cajun is going to surprise and shock the world.
All right, there you go. The pick is in. Emory, you're on CBS Sports HQ. We watch you every day. What else you got going on that people need to know about?
Well, they can check out my full NFL season previews, team by team, on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan. And just follow me on Twitter at FBallGamePlan and continue to support the content, as we'll have more college football stuff dropping down the pike as well.
Emory, always enjoy the chat, man. I hope you enjoy the football season. We'll catch up with you again down the road, man.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me on.
Emory Hunt joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Chandler, you were excited there until he got to the Sam Darnold part, but
right,
he likes everything around it. So that
especially
means
that young defense.
So if Darnold's good, Panthers will be good.
Yep, the pressure is on for Sam Darnold.
And Dan Arnold.
And I saw today that they connected in practice for a touchdown.
Man, if the Darnold to Arnold, or they could run a tight end reverse pass, Arnold to Darnold.
Like a Philly special?
Yeah. If that connection's going during the season, we'll have a lot of fun with it.
Yep.
Great to chat with Emory, man. I like bouncing around different football topics. We will stick to the Pirates when we return and talk to Stephen Igo from Hoist the Colors. He'll join us. We'll talk about the first 2 days of ECU practice. What has he learned, if anything, when it comes to depth chart, roster, and everything in between? We'll have that for you when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Here today with Bench, also known as Eddie Losner to his friends and family. Why do you go to F3?
Well, if there's anybody out there listening who has a desire to become the best version of themselves, I would highly recommend F3. The workouts are open to everybody, to all men. They're free of charge, and they will improve the quality of your life in a lot of ways. If Troy D and Ellerby can do it, anybody can do it. Come join us in the gloom.
One letter, one number, F3. Learn more today at f3enc.com.
Weekends are made for AJ McMurphy's. Start your Sunday fun day at AJ's. AJ's is now serving brunch from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and a build-your-own Bloody Mary bar. Enjoy your weekend with live music on Friday night and Saturday night with no cover charge. And you can catch all of the MLB and ECU baseball action on AJ's TVs. See you this weekend at AJ McMurphy's, Turnberry Square at Bells Fork, and on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bells Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
Ahoy, mateys! It's Captain Jack Spare of R&R Tire Express. We're here to serve our pirate community by offering easy payments for easy ownership. For you landlubbers, R&R will install a new set of tires for just $20. $50 installs new custom wheels and tires. To learn more about R&R, stop by 3920 US 264 or rnrtires.com.
At U.S. Cellular, we believe everyone should get more of the latest 5G technology for less of your hard-earned money. Right now, everyone can get a free smartphone, whether you're a new customer or not, with no trade-in or hidden fees. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
You've worked hard to start your business and working even harder to make it successful. And that's why it's important to have a bank in your corner when you need them. This is former ECU baseball player Ashley Capps from Select Bank and Trust, and as the business world throws you curveballs, we're here to be responsive to your needs. Our team of local bankers can make local decisions and cares about you, the customer. Get the business services that are right for your business today with Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
Hey, this is Troy D, proud ECU grad from the class of 94. And if you know me, you know I love the 90s here at ECU. It was some of our glory days, including bowl games, the Peach Bowl, and even a March Madness appearance. Relive those days with my friends from Tailgate Classics. Tailgate Classics is a cool retro store with all types of merchandise, including the 90s ECU vintage tees and hats. Check out Tailgate Classics in person, 304 Evans Street, or online at shoptailgateclassics.com. Tailgate Classics, bringing back the throwbacks.
Pirate Radio.
You know, I think this is a pretty blue-collar, tough, hard-nosed fan base, and that's where our teams are going to be.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. UBE has been an ECU tradition for over 50 years. Shop online anytime at pirateware.com. UBE has the biggest and best selection of ECU sportswear and accessories for Pirates of all ages. Every day is game day at UBE. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's Clip Rock.
All right, rolling right along, hour number 2 of Pirate Radio Live here on a Thursday. Coming up at 5 o'clock, Troy D will be alongside. We'll also welcome on former Pirate and now the head coach and AD out at Epps Middle School, Phoenix Evans, going to join us inside the Pirate Radio studios at 5 o'clock. Before we get there, we got a lot of Pirate football to talk about with Stephen Igo from Hoist the Colors, who joins us on the Fixed NC Live line. Igo, how you doing today, man?
Doing good, Clip. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. We got football on tonight. Are you going to watch? What's the over-under, let's say, 5.5 game minutes of the Hall of Fame game? Over or under? How much you watching tonight?
Under.
Man.
I'll be surprised if I even turn on a minute of it. I just can't get into preseason football, especially the Hall of Fame game. It's like, I feel like the starters don't even play.
No, they're not. And if it was the Broncos, how much would you watch?
Probably 5 minutes.
Okay, so my over-under was a better question for your team, not for the Steelers and Cowboys. All right, Stephen, it was not a media availability today for ECU football. We'll have some comments from Mike Houston following Friday's practice, but today was day 2 of practice, Stephen, and it's very early on, but judging by, and I always commend you, you do a great job with your VIP practice reports, starting to learn at least what the first team offense is going to look like or did look like on Wednesday. And what did you learn, Igo, specifically about the offensive line? I know you have been interested in the center position with Fernando Fry and with Avery Jones sliding over there. That was one thing you had an eye on. So what did you learn about that?
So, I had heard that they were planning to roll with Avery Jones as starting center to begin preseason camp based on how it ended in spring, and that held true. They rolled with Avery Jones. Again, this is just what we saw in the brief availability in the walkthrough period.
Yeah.
He was the starting center. They had Nashad Strother and Sean Bailey at guard, and then Bailey Malovic and Justin Chase at tackle as your starting offensive line. So, and who knows if that'll last up until the season. You have injuries, you have performance, how they draw it up on paper. Very rarely does day one practice, how the coaches think is going to go in their mind, kind of play out, whether it be health or performance related. So I think there's a lot that can change between now and then, but it's clear they want to let Avery Jones run at center and kind of see where it takes them. And if you think about it, it does make sense. I mean, if you get Avery Jones, who's one of your better guards, into the game in a different capacity at center, then you can utilize more of the guards. And really, when I look at ECU's offensive line, I think they have more interior guys than tackles, and that allows you to kick Strother, who can play tackle, but probably is more of a natural guard. Inside, of course, you got Sean Bailey. Then you can use Fernando Fry, Trent Holler at either of those 3 positions. You got some other young interior guys too. So I just think having Jones at center allows you to maybe rotate a guard a little more. It also gives you a more athletic center. You want your center to be one of the more athletic guys on the entire line, and Fernando Fry moves pretty well, but I think Avery Jones, as a 4-star recruit out of high school, is a little bit different animal, when it comes to athleticism, speed, upside for an offensive lineman.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. And if it doesn't work out, you just go back to the well with Fernando Fry, who's a guy you can count on to get the job done. So no harm, no foul, but they are trying to roll that. When you saw Bailey Malovic, did he look any more like a Division I college football tackle? Was he able to put the weight on this offseason?
Oh, yeah, it's night and day. I mean, he was bigger in the spring, and he's even bigger now. I mean, he looks, he definitely looks the part. I don't know if he's quite 300 pounds yet, but he has got to be at least 290 plus. I mean, the impressive thing about Malovic is he carries the weight extremely well. Him and Nashad Strother really just they just look good as far as like Division I offensive linemen. Maybe it's just because I've seen so many bad offensive lines come through ECU, but like, you know, they don't have that big old gut or anything like that. They're 300 or close to 300 pounds, and they are pretty slim and pretty athletic for being that weight, which is always a good sign. You know, that's kind of what you want. You want a guy who's like a slim 300 pounds, if that's a possibility, or somebody who carries the weight well, because that usually means they can move well, they got good feet, they're naturally athletic. So with Malovic, he definitely fits that mold. He's got to be on the Bryce Williams plan times a million as far as having to eat all the time, because he's got extremely fast metabolism to hold that weight. But man, if he can maintain that weight or close to it throughout the season with his athleticism, he's really got a shot to I think grow into a bookend tackle this program really needs.
Stephen Igo joining us. Let's keep the big gut talk to a minimum if we could, Stephen, moving forward. I'd appreciate that.
I'll do my best, man. I mean, I can't make any promises. I mean, I think that you, if you can wear a Hawaiian shirt and pull it off.
Yeah. Maybe I can carry it well.
Yeah, you can carry the weight well as well.
All right, thanks. Noah Henderson, Igo, has returned to football activities, 100% go. He missed last year, and that was a huge miss for the Pirates at tackle all 2020. Have you been able to see any of him as of yet, Igo, and how quickly are they ready, you think, to throw him back at a starting tackle position?
Yeah, he was out there yesterday, and he was moving pretty well from what I could see. He was going through the rest of the workouts like everybody else. I think for him it's going to be, how does he look when the pads come on? You know, with a back injury, an offensive lineman, they have to bend so much, especially an offensive tackle. I really am curious how he's going to react to that. You know, what happens when you take your step back and you get, hit full speed by a 260-pound Rick DeBrayu off the edge? Like, how does he react to that? To me, it's tough to make a huge judgment when they're not in pads with anybody, but especially the offensive line. So, but I mean, just physically, I thought he looked like to be in pretty good shape out there. Compared to when I saw him last year at this time, he's lost some significant weight, trimmed down quite a bit. So he looks to be in good shape, and looking forward to seeing how kind of his body reacts to some physicality and all that in the days ahead.
Stephen, something we will discuss throughout fall camp is, what does the running back situation look like behind Rajay Harris and Keaton Mitchell? After one day and seeing it very briefly, who looked good, Igo, as far as the young RBs?
Just watching drills, I thought Pop McKay has the look of a running back. I mean, he fits the bill. He's kind of got that low center of gravity, but wide shoulders, compact build that your really good running backs have, kind of similar to Rajay Harris. I didn't get to see much of Jamani Wilson. He was out there. I still think that the dark horse to watch is Macy O'Donnell. I mean, he's the preferred walk-on, has been in the program now. This is his fourth year. Primarily a backup receiver and special teams guy in the past, but now has been moved to running back. And I just think they want a guy who can maybe catch the ball out of the backfield in certain situations, be a different dynamic threat. He's got some speed. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but I think he's really got a chance to carve out a role in the running back room. Probably not going to be a starter, might not even crack the top three, but that doesn't mean he can't play, 5 to 10 snaps a game and have a role, especially as a pass catcher. I mean, he's a former receiver, and he was a very good receiver at East Carteret High School, so he's a guy that is going to be able to catch the football. And when they were running routes yesterday, just, routes on air, he easily was the best back in terms of catching the football. McKay looked okay as far as catching the ball, but it comes easy to Donald, and I think that's something they can take advantage of.
We look for any inkling of news or something we can use to take into the season with us, Stephen. And the other day when I asked Mike Houston about the running backs behind Harrison Mitchell, Macy O'Donnell was the first name he brought up. Should I read anything into that? I'm going to, regardless.
I just think he's a guy that's earned the coaching staff's trust. I mean, he's been in the program, and even when he was a redshirt freshman in 2019 as a third-string receiver, I mean, he's basically been stuck behind Tyler Snead to Hatfield in the slot the last 2 years.
So they might just find some way to try to get him the ball somewhere else.
Yeah, and he's a guy that I remember as a true freshman when Tyler Snead emerged 2018, talking to people in the program then, they were like, not only do we have Tyler Snead, but we have this Macy O'Donnell kid who's got a chance to be a player in time as well. So, we've seen it so many times over the years. I've kind of been waiting on him to emerge. I just think he's been stuck behind a similar player in Snead, and now that they moved him, you could find a way to get him on the field. But at the least, he'll make an impact on special teams.
Steven, were you able to get a look at the tight ends at all? Anything stand out of that busy position group?
Very briefly, I just thought I saw Aaron Jarman. I thought he looks well put together. Obviously, haven't been in a college football program for 3 to 4 years now.
Looked like a proven commodity out there.
Yeah, he was going through blocking drills, and it's safe to say he looked like the most confident, proven commodity of a blocker that I've ever seen. What's interesting that the tight ends were working next to the offensive line with Shankweiler and Coach Scott as far as just working on blocking technique, really hammering it home. That's something we haven't seen as much of in the past. More days, guys working out with the receivers. But they started practice working out with the offensive line, doing some blocking stuff. And just the sheer number of tight ends and offensive linemen, it's hard to even pick the guys out because it's like a small army. And you compare that to 3 years ago, and it's so night and day, man. I mean, Mike Houston's first year, they had Anthony Watley and Jeremy Lewis in the tight end room, and they had 8 offensive linemen that could play. So it's such a difference. It really is, and we'll see how it translates this year.
I had a ton of offensive questions for you. Not much on the defensive side. Any individual or any group stand out when you were able to see them in person yesterday?
Not a ton. I thought that I got to watch the safeties a little bit, just going through drills, and they just so many guys there. How do you differentiate who plays and who doesn't? And it's just Trip Weaver was coaching some of the new guys hard, especially JUCO addition Julius Wood, who I've heard very good things about, and he was moving well. But even a guy like Tegan Wilk, I thought he looked noticeably bigger, quicker, stronger. Juwan Powell, we talked a lot about him and his growth this offseason. Those two guys are kind of forgotten when you look at DJ Ford, Jairo Wilson, some of the more familiar names in the secondary from the spring, and the additions. But I think the return of Tegan Wilk and Juwan Powell and their progress is just as important as maybe some of the additions that we see in safety. So Devin King, another new guy from Marshall who looked very quick out there. Kingston McKintry is the JUCO kid. He was actually sitting out yesterday, so I'm not sure how long he'll be out at safety. But Demetrius Mooney was running well. I mean, they have so many guys at that safety Sam position that it's fun to see. But those are the guys that kind of caught my eye. Looking forward to getting back out there tomorrow. We're only allowed 30 minutes, so usually I try and focus on one position group, and we don't get a lot of team time. So it's more like, hey, I'm going to watch these guys go through drills, kind of evaluate their movement, what type of shape they're in, and kind of make mental notes each position every time out there.
Steven, just curious, we were talking about this with Bryce Williams and Nate Connor yesterday, and of course Nate Connor runs the football program at Conley, and Bryce Williams has been through both college and pro training camps, and we were talking about conditioning tests, and famously I remember when Albert Hainsworth kept failing Mike Shanahan's conditioning test every day, and he'd have to retake it. And I remember we talked to Mike Houston Monday, and he said when everybody shows up Wednesday, they'll be ready to go. Do you think, is that something they did with Big John maybe before this fall camp begins? Do they not have a test on Wednesday? Do you know anything about that?
I honestly am not sure either way. I think that they have some sort of conditioning test, some sort of metrics you have to meet.
Yeah.
I'm honestly not sure, though. I know when Ruff McNeil was here, they definitely had a conditioning test because I remember him mentioning multiple times that Terry Williams was the last one to finish when he made it, the Swamp Monster.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, it's just that's something I would have to ask Big John if we could ever get him for an interview. Or Coach Houston.
Good stuff. Check out hoistthecolors.net. Igo does his VIP observations. Steven, anything else you got to plug today?
We just dropped our latest podcast, first time since I had a baby, so it's been a little bit, but dropped our receiver position preview podcast. A couple weeks behind me and your preview podcast, so we got some changes, and we'll see how it goes. Got some interesting over-unders as well.
All right, I will tune into that because I'm fascinated to see who's going to be the guy behind the knowns with CJ, with Sneed, with Omatosho, who's next in line. So I will be tuned into that. Stephen, thanks for joining us, man. Have a fantastic weekend. Hope Slater and Erica are doing well, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
There is Stephen Igo, Hoist the Colors, joining us on a Thursday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Let's take a time out. We'll come back and wrap up. Why are you shaking your head, bruh? You got something to say? Say it in the microphone.
Was that supposed to be funny?
Take a time out. Come back. Wrap
Was
up.
that supposed to be funny?
Shut up, Mully. Enough of you. Enough of you, Chandler.
Do we not agree?
We'll be back with more after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2021 Buick Encore GX and save over $2,650 or 0% for 72 months. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Hey Birdland, experience an Orioles game this season with the convenience and privacy of your very own suite. Choose from an array of options and prices to gather with family and friends or entertain clients. Each suite features climate-controlled interior seating, a private restroom, and comfortable outside seating. Plus, enjoy the best views of Camden Yards. Suites can accommodate 8 to 22 guests. Capacity is limited, so select your dates and purchase tickets now. Learn more about single-game suites at Orioles.com/suites.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Safety comes first at Greenville Utilities. Did you know that by itself, natural gas is completely odorless? As a safety precaution, a chemical is added to the gas that gives it a distinctive and unpleasant odor. This allows you to detect the slightest amount of natural gas both indoors and outdoors. If you smell a strong odor of natural gas in or near your home, you should immediately call Greenville Utilities. GUC maintains staff around the clock in order to provide immediate response to emergencies such as natural gas leaks. You can count on GUC to keep safety job number 1. Guess what, Greenville? Calzones are back. Community Calzone is the only restaurant in town specializing in calzones. Choose from over 50 different calzones, or you design your own with unlimited options, including vegetarian. Community Calzone also features wings, huge salads, and more. Plus, they deliver to almost everywhere in Pitt County. Located on Greenville Boulevard next to Ashley Furniture Warehouse, they're open for lunch, dinner, and late night for dine-in, pickup, or delivery. It's Community Calzone.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Ready to travel and take a trip this summer? Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has recently added more American Airlines flights. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
This is Amanda Houston, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Go Pirates!
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Tommy's Express Car Wash. Come experience the difference at Tommy's. Now open at the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road. Doesn't your car deserve it? Visit Tommy's Express Car Wash today. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All righty. A few minutes to go here to wrap up hour number 2. Look at some day baseball. Mets, their collapse is underway. They lose 4-2 to the Marlins today. Javi Baez, who came over at the deadline from the Cubs, 0 for 5 strikeouts in today's loss to the Marlins. The Mets still have a lead in the East. It is dwindling because the Braves have finally freaking done it. They won 2 in a row.
Nice.
For the first time in, I think, over a month.
They broke it, right?
They are 54-54. Tonight, they try to go over 500 for the first time this season. They have not been over 500 all year long.
Can they do it?
I think they can. They try to sweep the Cardinals tonight in St. Louis. The Phillies are just 1 game back of the Mets. The Braves are 2 back. And right now the Phillies are beating Chandler's Nationals 1-0 in the third.
I was going to mention the Nationals' their social media team is doing a great job of teasing me with these young guys that we have on the team because they keep showing them hitting home runs and then I look, let's see what the score is, and we're losing by 3 runs or so.
It's like an Angels situation where you see before it was Trout, now it's Ohtani. Ohtani's 35th homer, and then you look and the Angels are down 6-2.
Yeah,
like every night. Shirley's Red Sox struggling. They lost today again to the Tigers. Game and a half back of first place Tampa. Now you still got a cushion over the Yankees and the Blue Jays, but those 2 teams playing well right now. So some interesting times for your Bo Sox, Shirley. They need to start winning again.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But then again, it's typical of the Red Sox. It's they either come out playing really sluggish to begin the season, and then they get hot right at the right time. And then this particular season, it's been a little bit of both. I mean, they got off to a dreadful start. And then went on a hot streak, and now they've gone cold again. So, it's typical baseball. I'd rather just wait until, the postseason and see what they can do there. Speaking of baseball, I was just looking at the Angels are playing the Rangers right now. They're going into the bottom of the ninth. The Rangers are currently being shut out 5-0. However, Jarrell Cotton just pitched 2 innings and struck out 3 and only allowed 2 hits in those 2 innings. So, of course, Jarrell got called up from Round Rock Express and is pitching for the Texas Rangers. So he came out of the bullpen to provide a little bit of relief. Not much, considering that the Rangers can't muster a run right now.
3 Ks in 2 innings for Jarrell Cotton. Well done. That's pretty cool. We'll have to keep an eye on that, as he is indeed pitching for the Rangers. I was not aware of that. Good stuff.
I caught that. Even though I wasn't able to be here, I was trying to keep up with all the minor league stuff, and I'd seen that Jarrell got called up. So he's in the big leagues, and we'll see what happens.
Tough league.
It's a tough league.
Big league.
But he's a good kid.
He is a good kid. Tonight, I'll ask you the same question I asked Igo. Over 5.5 game minutes. How much football are you watching, Chandler?
I don't know. I'm going to probably go under.
I already took the under in the game and the Cowboys, so I'll be watching over 5.5 minutes tonight.
Okay.
I'm going to be locked in.
Nice.
I'm going to come in tomorrow in the 3 o'clock hour with Tony Dunn, and I'm going to have a full recap. I'm going to be talking about players you've never heard of.
And both of us probably won't be able to contribute.
Well, take notes. Relax and take notes.
We'll be able to watch highlights. I'm always excited when football's back.
Until you turn it on.
But then the preseason, I still am not a big fan of the preseason.
Well, nobody is. It's a
Of course I am for my Carolina Panthers, but even then, I mean, it's not as exciting. I am excited to see the new guys that we get and the guys that are trying to make the roster.
But you don't want to see too much of them because they might get hurt.
Exactly.
It's not fun.
We watched that a few years ago when Cam Newton went down with an injury in the preseason, I believe, against the team that he's with now, the New England Patriots.
Shirley, how about you? Over under 5.5 game minutes?
I will definitely go under because since I didn't get any sleep last night, I am going to be sleeping tonight.
All right, you're going to be snoozing during the Hall of Fame.
I'll be studying the back of my eyelids.
You snooze, you lose.
No, you snooze and you snooze.
Let's take a timeout. We'll come back and get ready for hour 3. Troy D will be alongside. We'll also talk to former Pirate, now the head football coach, AD out at CMEPS Middle School. Phoenix Evans will join us as well. Have some Holton Ahlers and Jaquan McMillan audio we might get to if we have time. And we'll make you a winner. Open up the Pirate Radio booty bag. It's all ahead, hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. It's on the way after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Former head coach of the Pirates, Mac McCarthy.
So Herbert Green went to see Charles at a Christmas tournament in Huntsville, Alabama. And they were playing against Butler High School, which had a center who was the number 1 center in the country, a kid named Bobby Lee Hurt. Well, Charles just beat the living daylights out of Bobby Lee. But when Herbert came back from that trip, he said, we're recruiting the wrong guy. We have to recruit this guy named Charles Barkley.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Macon State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
Pirate fans, get ready for a winning season and team up with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer and proud sponsor of the ECU Pirates. When you do business with us, you'll get things done right. We're proud to offer a large selection of new and used John Deere equipment, a fully stocked parts department, and a highly trained staff who is here to support you throughout the life of your equipment. So get quality done right before every ECU game day and visit QualityEquip.com.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, Pirates supporting Pirates.
Although innovative new resources such as digital media and social networks have grown in popularity, smart marketers recognize that printing is a mainstay.
We live in an age of computer hacking, scams, and fly-by-night businesses, so it's reassuring to consumers when they receive printed marketing pieces.
It exemplifies business confidence and conveys a high level of commitment.
It also fosters trust, which leads to engagement and ultimately brand loyalty.
When you're ready to grow your business, come to PIP, where business goes to grow.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles for my friends at Ed Watkins Marine. I've known Ed personally for years, covering his winning performances on the football field and on NASCAR's pit road. Now Ed is winning on the water, and you get to win too. You win with awesome boat prices from Ed Watkins Marine, and of course, great service after the sale. If you're looking for a new boat, contact Ed Watkins Marine today. They will deliver anywhere. Find them online at edwatkinsmarine.com and tell them the voice sent you.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. At Grifols, it adds up fast. New donors can earn up to $1,000 in your very first month. It's the easiest way to make extra money. Start now at Biomat USA, 505 South Memorial Drive, Greenville. Find your donor center at grifolsplasma.com. Make up to $1,000 in a month and save lives now at Grifols Biomat USA. A better donor experience and better pay.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Carolina Hardscapes. Making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. If you have a dream of having a backyard patio fireplace, pool walkways, fire pits, or more, then Carolina Hardscapes is the place to call. Get started on your dreams today at Carolina Hardscapes on Fire Tower Road, across from Bostic Sun Furniture. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Are you one who's been waiting before trying CBD? Well, ENS Hemp is the area's leader in CBD, and they want to educate you on how their products work. Get relief from stress, anxiety, fatigue, pain, and PTSD today at ENS Hemp on Fire Tower Road near Sam Jones Barbecue, or online at eshempcompany.com. Now let's head back in. Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. We got a great giveaway coming up this hour, so stay tuned for that. We'll open up the Pirate Radio booty bag. Troy D alongside for Hour 3. Troy, how you doing?
Doing good, Clip. Good to be back. Good to see you again.
Absolutely. Great to see you. A special guest in studio as well, former Pirate, now the head football coach and AD at CMF's Middle School, Phoenix Evans, joining us as well. Welcome to the show, Phoenix.
I thank y'all for having me.
And Phoenix looks like we could put him back on the line at ECU.
He looks game ready.
You played for Coach Shank, who is back too. And we just get him a new jersey and get him a new, slot him in there.
Could have used you last year with all the injuries and everything on the O-line, Phoenix.
Well, I say I had to say my playing days is over with, but if I could get out there and do a few plays, I would love to. Coach Shank was a great coach.
You were here during the late 90s and during Logan's tenure. And during some of our great times, we went to 3 bowl games. You've been through the program. You've been through some ups and downs, too, with the program. But first of all, let's talk about your career here at East Carolina. You blocked for Leonard Henry and a lot of other Pirates that folks would be familiar with. When you look back at your playing days at East Carolina, what are some of your favorite memories?
I had a lot of favorite memories. I would have to say one would be the win against Miami down there in the 1999 at the Hurricane Floyd. Another huge one would be actually my first game traveling to West Virginia, or actually my first game going to Charlotte. We played at Panther Stadium.
Yeah.
And we had West Virginia. And I think
the backyard brawl, I think they called that.
Exactly,
game. Yeah.
Exactly. And then what happened was we saw a message. I think Coach Connor saw a message saying the West Virginia Mountaineers' first 2 games is 2 cupcakes.
Oh, yeah.
So once we won the game, Coach Connors had shirts made said, I thought we was cupcakes. So
yeah,
that was actually exciting. So yeah, a lot of great memories. A lot of guys I blocked for. David Garrard, like I said, Leonard Henry, Jamie Wilson. A lot of guys I had a great experience.
Former Pirate, once a Pirate, always a Pirate. Phoenix Evans joined us in studio, former offensive lineman, now currently with Epps, as Clip said, as the head coach and also athletic director. We'll talk about that coming up in a little bit. But let's talk about what happened to you after your playing days. Where did you end up after you graduated East Carolina? How did you end up? Not only are you in coaching and administrating, you also are a teacher. You kind of wear a lot of different hats over there. Take us back to like 2003 when you first got out of college, and how now we're getting close to 20 years, not to make you feel old, but where did that path lead when you first graduated ECU?
Okay. What I tell my students now, like, make sure you know what you're doing. Once you make sure you have a goal set, that you know what you plan on doing after school. Again, I can be honest with you, I didn't know what I wanted to do after I graduated. So therefore I went into, financing automobiles for Regional Sevens Corporation. Then I started mentoring. Mentoring is very exciting, where I was able to, relate to some of the kids in this area, take them out of some situations, some bad situations. But that's how this journey started.
So you kind of found your passion after graduation.
After graduation.
And you're like, hey, look, and nothing wrong working at Regional Acceptance. And those folks have made a lot of money, and you probably could have if you decided to stay that path. But that wasn't your passion. Your passion was mentoring young kids.
Exactly. So that started all this. That started where I'm at now, mentoring, then getting into coaching, and found my path here teaching, like you said, teaching AD and head coach. But again, I love the kids. I always been, go hard for my students. So again, that's where I'm at now. That's where it leads me to now, being a head coach, AD.
Well, your path is an interesting one because you spent time with at J.H. Rose. You were 2 years on the staff there. When you have 2 state championships, when you were there with Greg Thomas, we
had Brian Blick on the show yesterday. Was he on those teams?
I would say Brian Blick might have been a senior my first year there.
Yeah. He's now the director of football ops at Navy. So we had him on to talk some Navy football yesterday.
Great guy.
You were Lonnie Baker in Kinston. You did some time. You went to a state championship with him. You were at Welcome Middle School with Troy Smith, another former Pirate. You were telling me about the semi-pro team you were involved in, assistant coach, the NC Rebels. You guys won a national championship, last year?
Exactly, yeah. Won a national championship. Went down to Miami, Florida, played the team out of Florida, won our national championship, went 13-0, and actually went right back to the national championship again this year in Washington, D.C., and played a team out of Texas. So, again, back-to-back national champions and number one in the nation.
Is that Eric Graham, Big E?
Yeah, Big E.
So you O-linemen turn into pretty good coaches, it sounds like.
They
got to be students of the game, Cliff.
We're some of the smartest guys on the field.
That's what I hear, yeah. That's true.
Well, and you have to know everything that's going on around you.
Got
line. You don't get, there's not a lot of glory always as the skill positions get all the attention. But really, as you know, it all starts with the O-line.
Exactly. If you don't have any, if you don't have a great O-line moving that force up front, skill guys are just there.
So you've been at Epps for how long now?
2 years.
So you came in last year, you started teaching, and it was going to be your first year as a head coach, right?
Exactly.
But it got canceled because of COVID. So this is kind of your debut season. You've got a lot of coaching experience now, got a tremendous playing experience. This will be kind of your debut as head coach, Phoenix Evans, correct?
Exactly.
You nervous about being the guy? That's one thing being an assistant, but now everything's on you.
Well, not nervous at all. Just the game of football. It changes your life. It's life lessons. So, again, I've been around the game for about 14, 15 plus years coaching. Played it for about 25 years. And also, like I said, I was the head JV coach at Kinston High at some point in time for about 4 years there. So, again, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, and Clip, as you know, the athletic director is usually the one that hires or fires the head coach, especially with football. So I got to say, he's got pretty good job security.
I would say so, yeah.
Being the AD, that's a power move right there, Phoenix. I like that. At the end of the year, you have your consultation with the AD to see how you did. And then, we're going to redo this next year. Hopefully that goes well.
That means they can't let me go.
There you go. Good call. Phoenix, how much, even in 20 years, has player safety has changed quite a bit over the years in football. What are the other big changes as you go from a player now to coaching your own team?
Well, now you there's a lot of rules in play. Like you said, with concussions, it's totally different. When we was coming, throw you some salt and wake you up, you back out there. But now, with things going on, injuries, folks dying, you want to make sure the athlete, you may want to make sure their safety is first.
Yeah.
So therefore, and then the heat. My God, I know I played out here in this heat. I'm talking about the heat now. It's like, could I do this now?
Yeah. We talked to Will Bland last week. They have a rule in high school, I guess, if it's a certain degree or something outside, you have to go inside. You can't practice. Is that, I guess, the same for you guys?
I'm always checking the heat, making sure it's not too hot now. I want to say the last practice we had was real hot, so I let the boys take water breaks excessively.
Coach Connors didn't have that rule back when we were at ECU, did he?
Nah, we
he waited till it was a certain amount, and then you went out.
It's too cool to practice now. Let's wait.
We got to wait till it gets about 98, or the humidity's not enough. We got to wait till so. It was like the opposite back then.
Well, I kind of take some of that with me. Like I tell the boys now that I'm coaching, we're not going to practice at 9 o'clock or 12 o'clock at noon. We play at 4 o'clock, so we're going to practice at 4 o'clock. So to make sure they can handle the weather.
Well, you're right, and you got to get acclimated to it. And if you never get acclimated to it when you play in that heat, then you're going to be at a disadvantage.
Exactly.
If you're used to practicing in it, I think it is something that it's not as big of a deal.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that's good coaching. I've seen a lot of your drills too. Where do you get who's your influence in coaching? Who have you when you now that you're the head guy, who do you kind of model your coaching style after?
I wouldn't say model. I would say I take different pieces from different guys I've coached with.
Like who would be your mentors? Like you like this from this coach and that from that coach.
Well, I say Coach Thomas Rose. I like his how he go into the game plan. It's just I take his mentality where study film, know your opponent. That's where I get that from. The drills will have to come from Coach Anderson, who I coached with a long time at Kinston High, which he's actually up under Coach Thomas. He was one of Coach Thomas's proteges. So I would say Coach Anderson taught me a lot of those drills. So that's where I got that from. But again, also Diesel at Kinston now, who I coached with for a year. I said Kinston also took some of his drills as well. But if I would say model, it would have to be Coach Thomas, just his wisdom and how he approached the game of football, how he was so prepared. You just can't win 72 games in a row without being prepared. So
yeah. Do you, one day do you feel like you want to move up, hey, I'd like to go be a high school coach, or I want to stay at this level and just kind of enjoy my life? Yeah, because it is more pressure every time you move up a level. It's a little more pressure every time.
Exactly. And if you're in the game of coaching, you also want to move up. I mean, not saying it's going to happen immediately, but you want to see change, you want to see growth. So again, if it's high school, if it's for me, it's for me.
Mm-hmm. How tough is it to go from semi-pro high school to middle school, where your guys aren't as developed as those other guys? So how tough is that for you as a coach to know your personnel?
There's different levels how you can talk to them, how you can motivate them. So as a semi-pro, some guys that's already played college football, maybe played pro football a little bit, you just got to have them get them motivated. But teaching a middle schooler it's your passion. It's like your energy in coaching. Like they see that you can't fool them with that. So they see their coach like, okay, I see Coach Evans is like all in. I want to go all in for him, and that's just me. I'm gonna give them my all when I'm out there coaching them. And as high school. They're a little bit older.
Technology.
Alexa going off.
I have no idea where that came from. It just started.
Sorry.
But as middle school, as high school, those guys a little bit older than what they were in middle school, so they kind of grasp what we're looking for.
So. And Troy, you said it was okay if he cussed out your kid on the field.
Hey, look, I told him, you do whatever you got to do. He's the coach. I'm not getting
Listen to the coach.
That. Right? Yeah. And full disclosure, Tyler is my son. Is going to be playing for you this year. He's really excited about it. I mean, he's played football before, played other sports before, but this is probably maybe some of the most exciting. He went out just for summer workouts clip, and usually those aren't a lot of fun, but he came back all jacked up. So whatever you're doing is working, because I talked to some of the other kids too, and if you can have fun during summer workouts for football, you're doing something right, Coach. So
well, I appreciate that.
Phoenix Evans, our special guest in studio, who's a Pirate standout, 1998 through 02. Once a Pirate, always a Pirate, as we said. Now you're coaching in the shadow of Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. Epps literally across the street from Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, so a place that you've been by 1,000 times now is your home. How closely do you still monitor what goes on with the ECU program, and what is your take of it so far?
Well, like you said, Pirates for life. So I'm definitely taking notice and looking, and seeing the different coaches that's coming in. Like I said, with Coach Houston, his third year, I'm very excited about this year. So I'm definitely taking notice of what's going on. Like I stated earlier, I see there's depth in the O-line. A lot of guys look a little bigger than what they was last year. So. And the two running backs, Najee Harris and I can't think of the young guy,
Keaton
Mitchell. I'm looking forward to seeing them, running the rock a little bit more this year. So again, I'm I'm excited about the season.
You mentioned Coach Shank earlier. You said something that dozens and hundreds of players have told us, Troy, and that's that he's a great coach. What about Steve Shankweiler makes him a great coach? He's still able, this season as he is, to relate to the younger guys and to be a good O-line coach. What do you remember about him coaching you?
Coach Shank is a no-nonsense guy. So when I say he's a great coach, the technique, he's been around the game for years, so he put guys in the NFL, so you got to kind of look at that as he know what he's talking about.
All right.
So he's going to make sure the right five is on the field. He's not going to sugarcoat it. He's going to call you out if you're not doing what you are supposed to do. And again, he'll call you out right in the meeting. And I always say the eye in the sky don't lie. That's the camera. So the eye in the sky don't lie. So again, just his motivation, just his knowledge of the game, and how passionate he is on the practice field. I mean, great guy to play for, a great coach.
He's got a good little sense of humor too.
Very. That's why I started laughing.
Even with the players?
Yes.
Okay,
very,
all right. I was just wondering if that was off the field or if that was
on the field, off the field.
A little sarcastic at times, but he's funny. He's not afraid to, make you laugh a little bit.
Well, I got a story to tell about Coach Shank. So my first time traveling, we had stayed in a hotel. He normally gives us tests, what our assignments is the night before. So I come back downstairs the morning of because we have a little walkthrough. I left my test. I was like, oh my God, I left my test. He said, well, son, if you ain't got no test, you ain't playing today. I said, oh, let me find it. So I find it, I give it to him. He said, well, son, everything is up here is wrong. So I'm nervous because I'm like, but he's like, son, just calm down. Everything is right. So, but yeah, he's definitely got a.
He just like to pull, yank your chain a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Great to have him back for what, Troy? His fourth stint at ECU?
Fourth or fifth.
He keeps leaving and coming back, Phoenix. He can't,
by the way,
he
is
can't
this
stay
an
away.
Olympic sport right here?
I turn it over here.
This is an Olympic sport. I feel I could be an Olympic champion in this.
So Chad tweeted
this
us, Troy.
Literally walking.
Yeah.
And this is something, Phoenix, I do every day. And this is like, they're not even really walking that fast. It's just walking. Maybe. I don't even know if I consider that speed walking clip. They're just waving their arms faster.
And where's the ref? If you start running, do you get a flag? Do you get a technical? Like, how does it work?
I think I could be competitive in this.
Well, they just showed it a little while ago, but one of the speed walkers was walking and then all of a sudden just left the racetrack, the path, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, just left and hit the porta potty. Like, they showed that live on TV.
That's perfect. That's what I've done that in my neighborhood before. I've walked and I've hit a porta potty in the neighborhood.
It is super weird.
This is something I'd love to participate in this. I could finally be an Olympic athlete.
I mean, they're sashaying about as hard as they can right now. You could throw a hip out with those.
Hips are moving.
They are going left and right on the hips. I think a lot of that's just for show. I think they're just grandstanding.
Just a little eye candy.
Yeah.
That is a weird deal. Maybe the weirdest
definitely some
sport
tight shorts.
Yeah.
Good Lord. What is going on in slow-mo?
It's a little obscene here, but
that zoom in slow-mo is not a good thing. Not a good thing.
Because they look like they're running in slow-mo.
Yeah.
All right,
sorry.
Let's get it back on track.
Sorry.
But
I got a question about your former playing days. You mentioned Miami earlier. I thought of a question before Troy asked you that. And who are the toughest players you faced while at ECU? I got to imagine, I don't know, was Vince Wilfork on that team? But who are some of the toughest guys you had to block in a game? Do you remember any?
One guy coming to mind would be Dwight Freeney.
Yeah,
Dwight Freeney was definitely All-American. Syracuse got one sack on me that game. And
that ain't bad.
Which ain't bad. I always tell the guys, well, he got one sack on me, but he got 8 sacks against Jonathan Ogden, 13-time
Hall of Famer.
So again, on a Monday night at that. So
yeah, there you go.
And then Julius Peppers. So
was he as good as advertised?
Julius Peppers was definitely good as advertised. Great athlete. He did everything. He can drop back out in flats, snatch an interception, take it to the house. So you don't see 6'6" guys, 300 pounds moving that fast.
How much junk talk to you guys on the line is there? I know there's a lot of jawing that goes back and forth with receivers and stuff, but what about on the line? I mean, you guys are bigger guys. How much junk did defensive linemen talk to you, or do they not really do that as much because you're banging heads every play anyway?
Oh no, it's a lot of junk talk. I mean, it's a lot of dirtiness that's going on in the piles. I think I witnessed one against Louisville. The guy didn't last long, but I witnessed him spit in one of our guys' face. But it's a lot of junk talk. It's a lot of pulling and trying to break an arm or ankle in those piles. But you got to be tough. You just got to be mentally tough and physically tough to get up out of there.
Troy, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll have more with Phoenix Evans, former Pirate, now head coach AD at CMFs. We also got to make you a winner. A lot more to go. Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. We roll on after this.
There's nothing more important than protecting your family. Fire ants can cause painful allergic reactions and even death. Protect your loved ones at home where you should feel the safest. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com to learn of our once-a-year treatment to guarantee you stay fire ant free. Tested and proven effective by your Eastern North Carolina exterminating professionals at Pest Tech of Greenville. Mention the crying baby for an extra 10% off.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. A wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. Available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly.
If you're recovering from an injury, getting back into sports, dealing with everyday pain or fatigue, then Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness can help you get back on track and live well. Kinetic's award-winning staff features a TPI golf specialist that offers assessments and rehab to help you get back on the course and playing your best.
This is Dr. Shondell Jones, and you deserve to live well. Call us at 364-2806 or visit kptonline.com. Go Pirates!
Ooh, look at all that Parmesan cheese on that papadilla. Our freshly folded flatbread filled with juicy meats and melted cheese now has a crunchy, toasty outside. Now that's what's poppin'. Order today at papajohns.com.
Hey Pirate fans, order the new Parmesan Crusted Papadilla for only $7. The new Parmesan Crusted Papadilla is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
Greenville's original express car wash is now offering a fast pass for as low as $19.99. That's one pass, 4 locations, and unlimited washes. Visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and East 10th Street, and also in New Bern on Glen Burnie Road. And by popular demand, Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Find new roads with Chevrolet. Then come find yours at Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Look for Sparky Snowballs location at the Food Truck Rodeo on the corner of Evans Street and Fire Tower Road, and remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com. Do you suffer from pain, anxiety, or sleeping issues? Eastern Healthcare has a solution for you. Eastern Healthcare is the premier CBD store with retailer quality products to help with any ailment you might have. They carry nationally recognized brands such as Curative's Delta 8, CBD Distillery, and Charlotte's Web with a wide variety of delivery systems.
This is Adam from Eastern Healthcare. Come visit our store at 2245 Stantonburg Road across from Vidant Hospital or call 227-4199. Eastern Healthcare. Wellness starts here.
This is Brian Bailey, host of The Brian Bailey Show, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Carolina Hardscapes. Making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. If you have a dream of having a backyard patio fireplace, pool walkways, fire pits, or more, then Carolina Hardscapes is the place to call. Get started on your dreams today at Carolina Hardscapes on Fire Tower Road, across from Bostic Sugg Furniture. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. And making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. And if you have a dream of having a backyard patio fireplace, pool walkways, fire pits, or more, then Carolina Hardscapes is the place to call at 364-1201. Or you can stop by the Carolina Hardscapes Outdoor Showroom on Fire Tower Road across from Bostic Sugg Furniture. Get started on your dreams today at Carolina Hardscapes. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's Clip Brock.
All right, thanks Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt producing today's program, Troy D alongside, and Phoenix Evans joining us inside the Pirate Radio studios as well.
Yeah, during the break we were watching some of the walking competition in the Olympics, which is an Olympic sport, and I said this is something I could do. Phoenix, you said, well, I guess it just depends how far you got to go.
Exactly.
Clip, you did the work. Evidently, I might have spoken too soon because allegedly, if your information is correct, this is a 50-kilometer race.
Correct.
Which, just 50. But if you do the math, we don't really think of kilometers. How many miles? What did you say, 30?
By my calculations, 31
miles. Now, a marathon is only what, like 23, 24 miles or 26? I don't forget what the exact count on a marathon, but that's more than a marathon. And you're walking. This thing would take, it's like you said, hey, go walk to Kinston.
Yeah, go walk to the Wood Ducks game.
Yeah, that would be the equivalent of this thing if that's how far they're going on this deal.
And it looks like the record, the fastest time is around 3 hours and 30 minutes. So
yeah, that's a pretty
hell of a
brisk
walk.
pace to get done that quick. Because I figured, well, if they're walking 5 miles an hour, it's going to take 6 hours. But, obviously they're walking quite quicker than that.
They're getting it.
I was thinking, well, man, I could, if I was walking from here to like the student center,
Maybe you could do
the short track,
the 100 meters.
Right, exactly.
Walk.
Everybody has a specialty.
You could be the Carl Lewis of speed walking.
Phoenix Evans joined us in studio, former Pirate greats, current athletic director and head coach at CMF's middle school. This is an interesting year, for you. As we said, it's your debut year as a head coach. It's your debut as the AD. And I had some friends ask me, going, what's going on at Epps? Because they drive by and it looks like a bomb had gone off. I said, well, they're rebuilding the school, basically from the inside out. Last year or 2 years ago, it got hit by a hurricane. The roof blew off half the school. So all the 8th grade classes they got insurance money and they rebuilt that whole side. But you can imagine the damage with the roof blown off of all that, the classrooms. But they were able to use that money to rebuild a lot of the classroom space in the 7th and 8th grade side. And then I think what I understand is as they were doing this construction, they found some other issues. And, the school is one of the oldest schools in the county. And they decided, it's a lot more cost effective just to repair and fix than it is to build a brand new school somewhere. So they're spending millions of dollars. But the good news is Epps is going to look incredible when they finish. The bad news is it affects your football season because to rebuild the school from the inside out, they had to relocate some of these classrooms that they can't use right now. So they brought in temporary trailers in place of the classrooms, and they had to put them on some of the football field.
Exactly.
So now you can't. Now here's where it hits home, Clip Brock. Epps can't play a home game now because of the remodeling.
Oh man,
College Road Warriors.
So, you got to play every game on the road.
On the road,
brutal.
That's a tough go for your first. And you were supposed to start last year, and your season got canceled because of COVID. Now you finally get your start. Now every game's got to be a road game.
Yeah, I said that. I haven't actually told it to the students yet, but our mentality is we're going to have to go into it as Road Warriors. So
yeah,
in order to do that, you got to be physically, mentally ready. So I'm gonna roll with with the punches.
And even the practice field, you're lucky if you can get 50 yards. You're going to be lucky, right?
I hope. I mean,
they don't even have a full football field to practice on, Clip.
Well, you'll have plenty of speeches about overcoming adversity, Coach. That's for sure, because you got a lot going against you right now.
Yeah, well, adversity comes. We just got to be able to overcome it.
At least your road trips aren't that long. You're not heading to any other states or anything. Just stay in the county, right?
Aiden Griffin might be the farthest.
How many games do you play at middle school level?
We got 8, and then I thought
you play everybody twice,
or everybody once.
Once, okay.
Are my A.G. Cox Raiders on the schedule?
We don't. Their division. They broke the divisions in, so it's like Division 1, Division 2.
Oh, okay.
So the championship for Division 2 and championship for Division 1 will play in the championship game. So if they make it to championship game, and we do, we'll play A.G. Cox.
So who would you consider the big rival? Is it ACOC?
EBA
kind of a
Cox.
cross street rival,
perhaps? Around the corner rival. Yeah, EBA Cox would be the rival.
It's kind of the Blue Devil Tar Heel basketball equivalent of rivalry.
NC State Pirates.
Yeah, there you go. Even better. That's a good one.
How much are y'all able to have official practices before the season starts?
Well, we actually, our first game is September the 9th. Well, the Jamboree is September the 2nd. So I'm looking forward to going Monday through Friday, 2.5 hours a day.
Good deal. Jamboree is a bunch of different schools getting together to play each other.
Exactly. September the 2nd.
And in this type, in middle school ball, but do most kids play both sides of the ball? Or how many do?
Most kids will play both sides of the ball. It depends on our numbers and then who can play the position, who can have an impact in the game. But the ones who can go both ways, I plan on allowing them to go both ways.
Is your offensive line sometimes some of your defensive line, too?
Exactly.
Yeah. Is that the toughest spot to kind of fill the line? I mean, that's where you come from. It seems like that's the spot East Carolina has struggled with in recent years to find good players and to get depth in. Is it that way all the way down?
It is, because O-line want to say they want to think they're skill guys. You got them. I can play wide receiver. I can play running back. Well, son, no, you can't. You're just not built for it. But I don't want to destroy their dreams. But again, eventually they'll be placed on the O-line. And obviously, I went to Epps, so I went to Epps, and Coach Peacock and Coach Pollard was the ones that coached me there. So,
did you? I did not know you were an Epps alum.
So when you say it's an old school, it was actually like that when I went there. So it's very old.
Now, we'll say it is looking good.
Looking real
renovations.
Good.
And when they finish in another year or so, it's going to be fantastic for you guys.
So did you go to Rose?
I ended up moving from Greenville to Kinston, my ninth grade year of high school. So I went to Kinston High.
All right. You mentioned Jamie Wilson earlier. He's a D.H. Conley Viking like myself, a little older than me, but I remember he was like a legend out there at Conley, and he had some great games here. That was the Miami game in Carter Finley Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie had a good game in that one. So I remember that.
Yeah, you said that was one of your favorite memories.
Yeah. When I say it's one of my favorite memories, it's definitely one of my favorite memories. As you know, what we went through with Hurricane Floyd, us going to South Carolina, playing South Carolina down there,
and really getting displaced after that. Yeah. Folks that weren't around then went to South Carolina, beat South Carolina on the road, and the team wasn't able to come back to Greenville. The flooding was so bad that they ended up, you weren't able to come back home. Mm-hmm. The team wasn't. And a lot of the players' apartments and stuff had flooded. There was there's nothing you could do about it. I remember they were gone for a long time, and then couldn't play the game. The game was supposed to be in Greenville.
Exactly.
They were coming to Dowdy Ficklen, and unfortunately, with the power issues, with the flooding issues, the area wasn't ready. I remember the police saying at the time, "Look, we have all our resources out in the community. We can't patrol a football game right now." So they moved it to Raleigh, and to NC State's credit, they let Carter Finley become ECU's home field that day, and they were very courteous to the Pirate fans. That was probably one of my greatest memories as a fan, and it was just first come first serve. They just opened up, if you had a ticket, and it was packed. We were wondering how many people would go, but I think at that point everybody was so fatigued from Hurricane Floyd and so sick they were ready for an outlet or something. And it was a who's who. I think we filled Carter Finley Stadium at that time. I remember it was packed. It was about 50,000 people back then.
Well, actually, one of the loudest crowds I've been involved with. Again, Miami jumped up on us 20-3.
Yeah,
and we went in halftime and
playing the Hurricanes. How ironically,
playing the Hurricanes,
and then you're getting way behind and getting killed at halftime, and nobody left. Nobody. I remember at halftime, nobody was either like, "Oh, this is over." We're like, "Oh, we got them where we want them now."
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So, and exactly when you say that, Coach Logan came in. really didn't say much, and he just said, just listen to the crowd. So the locker room was quiet. We still heard y'all as loud as y'all were. We still heard y'all in the locker room. Came out, won the game, and it was actually one of the greatest games I've been involved with.
Might be the last time, I'd have to look, might be the very last time a young Troy D stormed the field. I don't think there's been a storm the field situation since.
Did you say might have to look? Was this in like a record book somewhere? Your storm?
No, I'm saying last time ECU stormed. There might. No, I think 99.
No, and people got tased for the
that's
West
right.
Virginia game.
That's right. They did. It did happen after that. Good point.
The West Virginia.
Yeah, against the police officer.
Speaking of the last time, Phoenix, the last time ECU beat South Carolina?
When was the last time?
When you were playing.
Wow.
1999, ECU 0-4 against South Carolina. Since then, got a chance to break that curse this year.
This century.
September
This will be
11th.
the first win this century over the Gamecocks.
Yeah.
I like our chances this year. If we're going to get them, this is the year to do it.
I agree.
They got
First
a new
year head coach.
It's only their second game. They won't have it all figured out. We got them at home. I mean, there's a lot of things going. I just wish it was a 6 o'clock kickoff.
Home opener, yeah, it'll be a
God, if it could have been a 6 or 7 o'clock kickoff, man.
Well, actually, South Carolina made me pick who I wanted to go to when I went and watched them play against East Carolina. Against Scott Harley in the rain in the torrential downpour.
96?
96.
I
took
remember
me on
that game.
a official
That was
visit.
a wild
and
game.
Watched the game. I was like, you know what? I think East Carolina Pirates is on my radar now.
Who did you? What were the other schools coming after you, or you thought about going to?
I had South Carolina, I had Clemson. Kentucky was very hard. So I was like, what is in Kentucky? Like, it's basketball. Like,
yeah.
But
do you remember which ECU coach at the time was recruiting you the most?
Coach McManus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember
coach.
him.
Yeah, Coach McManus. Yeah.
Nice guy.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Steve Logan came to the school, so.
Interesting now hearing those names. Kentucky has improved their football program, but Clemson certainly wasn't what they are now back then, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're a powerhouse now.
They have turned it up a few notches.
Did you have any good Steve Logan stories? He was a unique cat.
Steve Logan was Steve Logan. It was really not a story to tell. I mean, a no nonsense guy. I was very adamant about winning at no cost of when I say winning on the last play of the game.
He loved it. I mean, he would preach that all the time. I'm like, Coach, how about we blow someone out for a change? No. Last play of the game. Phoenix, don't let him get by you. Don't let him get by you, Phoenix. You're killing me, Phoenix.
Yeah,
You're killing me.
Exactly. So, I mean, win at any cost, but last play of the game, make sure we still in the game. So
yeah, he did. We won a lot of games on the last play of the game. He loved winning the game on the last play of the game. He did preach.
So is that why you would get mad when Ruff would say win by 1 and get out of there? You had flashbacks to Logan.
Yeah, I'm like, why can't
Ruff, let's win one by 24.
Why can't we win it by 21?
Nah, win by 1 and get out of there.
Yeah. I mean, I get their point, but hey, look, if you blow someone out, let's blow them out, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
All right.
We had a few blowouts.
Definitely. Let's get another break in, Shirley. We need to make somebody a winner right now.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
All right, the Pirate Radio booty bag is open. Shirley Rhodes, what are we giving away today?
We're going to give away a shrimp taco lunch courtesy of Chico's.
Oh, man, that's a good one. 317-1250. What caller are we looking for?
12.
Caller 12, 317-1250. You can be a winner. More with Phoenix Evans when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. At Grifols, it adds up fast. New donors can earn up to $1,000 in your very first month. It's the easiest way to make extra money. Start now at Biomat USA, 505 South Memorial Drive, Greenville. Find your donor center at grifolsplasma.com. Make up to $1,000 in a month and save lives now at Grifols Biomat USA. A better donor experience and better pay.
Ahoy there, mateys! It's Captain Jack Spare of R&R Tire Express, your local tire and wheel shop in Greenville, offering affordable, easy payment options for easy ownership, savvy? Our customers love our treasure of tires and wheels, easy payment options, and customer care package, too. To learn more about R&R, stop by 3920 US 264 or rnrtires.com.
At US Cellular, we believe everyone should get more of the latest 5G technology for less of your hard-earned money.
Right now, everyone can get a free smartphone, whether you're a new customer or not, with no trade-in or hidden fees.
U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find a store near you. We go beyond the call.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
At U.S. Cellular, we believe everyone should get more of the latest 5G technology for less of your hard-earned money.
Right now, everyone can get a free smartphone, whether you're a new customer or not, with no trade-in or hidden fees.
U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
Now that life is returning to normal, we have found a lot of good things that came from the pandemic. One of them is not having to go to the wireless store anymore. The Cellular Warehouse team has been in the business of delivering phones to your home and office for 20 years. People found out about our free delivery service and love the ease of getting a new phone, tablet, or hotspot. Call Toby Williams today at 252-799-7051 so you can start experiencing the joy of never going to a wireless store again. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
It's bow time. The new Bo's Chicken Sandwich isn't just any chicken sandwich. We took our time perfecting this bold seasoned, hand-breaded, certified Southern powerhouse. Pile that big league buttered milk crunch with crispy pickles and creamy mayo for a chicken sandwich so good, you'll forget your mic is hot.
Now over to you, John.
Tomorrow we are going to set a record.
It's so fucking good.
Try the new Bo's Chicken Sandwich only at Bojangles. It's bow time.
University PC Care has been busier than ever repairing personal PC and Mac computers and iPhones during this pandemic. And we thank you for your support. Now, with everyone streaming and doing work from school and home, you may have discovered that your home Wi-Fi just isn't cutting it. It may be time to upgrade your home network, and University PC Care can help. To make a network assessment appointment and discover upgrade options that fit your home, go to talktowilliam.com or learn more at universitypccare.com.
Pirate Radio!
Pirate Radio.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Carolina Hardscapes. Making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. If you have a dream of having a backyard patio fireplace, pool walkways, fire pits, or more, then Carolina Hardscapes is the place to call. Get started on your dreams today at Carolina Hardscapes on Fire Tower Road, across from Bostic Sun Furniture. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA is the easiest way to make extra money. Start now at Biomat USA on 505 South Memorial Drive and make up to $1,000 in a month and save lives now at Grifols Biomat USA. A better donor experience and better pay. And congratulations to Stuart Brooker of Winterville. Picked up a shrimp taco lunch courtesy of Chico's. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's. Enjoy your favorites like shrimp tacos, steak and chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, ACP, and more. Plus, ice-cold cervezas and Chico's famous margaritas are always available. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Split Rock.
All righty. We made it through the off-season, kinda. There's a preseason football game tonight, the Hall of Fame game.
What time?
Phoenix's Dallas Cowboys are playing. He's
what
a Cowboys fan. I believe this is NBC, Troy D.
NBC.
So you get
8 o'clock?
Your Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth.
Who are they playing?
8 o'clock. They're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'll take it. If that's the only thing they're feeding you, I'm going to eat it.
So who you taking?
Oh, I'll take it as I'll watch it.
Oh,
I'm not going to take anybody, but I'll watch it.
I guess
as a spectator.
So Dak's not playing. Do y'all still have the is it DiNucci? The kid that played for Donnie Kirkpatrick, he was his coach. The backup quarterback, I don't know. I don't know who's going to even play in this game.
I know when they said Dak was out, I think it's DiNucci. So
Yeah.
When's the rest of the preseason start?
Next Thursday.
Okay, so this is a week ahead of time.
Yeah, Hall of Fame game's always a week ahead.
Okay, because I got some tickets for Soldier Field I need to dump if anyone's interested.
Hey, Justin Fields' debut.
Yeah.
Get them while they're hot.
I know.
Troy D's got some tickets
I got
for
them
you.
listed on Ticketmaster, but I could pull them off if someone locally would like them.
I tell you what, Troy, you might break the bank the week they announced Justin Fields is making his first start.
Yeah.
There'll be some interest in that.
I thought about going up to the Packer game this year. I thought that might be a good game to go to.
Maybe your last time to see Aaron Rodgers as a
That'd
Packer
be kind of cool
against the Bears.
But then I figured that would be a good one to sell too.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy, I tell you what, we're fascinated by watching the speed walking. That guy from China is about like 300 yards in front of the entire pack. It's a clip. He's walking like his life depends on it. Probably because his life depends on it.
Hey-o.
Hey-o!
Yeah, Shirley wasn't ready, and she didn't need to be.
I didn't cure for it. Thank you.
She didn't need to be ready for that, Shirley.
Yeah. All right, sorry.
Was that supposed to be funny?
Yes, it was, Coach Mullis.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that
a little
guy.
Olympic humor.
A little Olympic humor. Yeah.
What'll be more interesting to watch, the speed walking or the Cowboys game tonight?
I'll say the Cowboys game.
And by the way, I was wrong. Thank you, Chad. The game is on Fox.
Fox, all right.
So now we got to hear another Cowboy, Troy Aikman, probably. I don't know.
Well, you know, Troy Aikman I wouldn't say he's bi. He's just regular. He's not going to give us he's not going to.
Is that what Cowboys fans think? He's like overly unbiased.
Yeah, he's not going to overdo it for us. So
Hard Knocks. You ever watch Hard Knocks, Phoenix?
Yeah, I do.
Cowboys will be featured. That starts next week, Troy D.
Yeah, there's a lot of Cowboys going on this month.
I haven't got hooked into many shows, but I'm approaching 2 now that I'm getting ready to get locked into. I'm going to commit to watch Hard Knocks this year.
Okay.
Because I do find, even though I'm not a Cowboys fan, I do find it, Jerry Jones, the personalities, I do think it'll be entertaining. So I'm going to watch for the pure entertainment portion of the Cowboys just to see. I want to see how they do things behind the scenes.
Okay.
You know, and it might be some interesting stuff there, tidbit, depending what they let us show. How much editorial rights do they let Jerry Jones have?
That's a good question.
No, don't put that on there. That's my bad side. Don't cut that out. You know. But anyway, I'm going to commit to watch Hard Knocks on HBO. And I just watched. I started season 2 last night. Clip episode 1. I'm kind of embarrassed to admit it, but I know you're with me in this.
Yeah.
Outer Banks, the second season has dropped on Netflix.
The best, worst show.
Yeah, and now I'm hooked on it again.
I have not started season 2 yet.
Okay, so I won't discuss anything with John B. or any of that stuff, but we can discuss that at a later date. You've got your homework now, and next Monday or next Thursday we can discuss episode 1 or 2.
We'll recap some eps.
Yeah.
Phoenix, you got any good shows you're streaming right now? Are you all football?
Nah, I'm actually when you say Outer Banks, my daughter was just telling me about the Outer Banks. And
that's who watches it, Troy. Smaller females.
How old's your daughter?
13.
Yeah.
And I
13-year-old
girls. I was like, what is Outer Banks? She's like, it's on Netflix, Daddy. Like, so that's the first time I heard it. Was
even more embarrassing.
That's the audience. Middle-aged white guys and 13-year-old girls. Yeah.
There you go.
That's who's watching Outer Banks. I did see it's trending #1 on Netflix.
Oh yeah, people now. Like it. It's a guilty pleasure.
Now here's the thing: if you want to see, now this is here's a Netflix hack. Instead of watching the first season, like if you want to watch it with your daughter, they've got a 3-minute recap that you can under the previews for Outer Banks, and in 3 minutes you can watch a recap of season 1. And it shows you everything you've missed. And literally, like if you didn't watch a single episode, you don't know what happened. After 3 minutes, you'll be completely caught up to date on where it is, and you can start season 2 fresh. I'm like, I wish I knew this. I could have saved a lot of time and just watched this 3. Did you see the 3-minute recap?
I have not.
It was excellent. It was well done, and it was literally the entire season summed up in 3 minutes.
Thank you for that PSA. I will watch that heading into.
But that is good
2.
for people that have missed it, but said, "Oh, well, I don't know if I want to put the time in to watch the whole first season." Now, all you got to do is put in 3 minutes, and you're right there at season 2.
It's like the previously on Outer Banks.
Correct. Right. But for the whole season. And it picks up right where season 2 starts.
I can see where it's #1 on Netflix because Troy is definitely
Are you being paid by the Outer Banks production company?
This is a non-ad. I don't know. It's just something. And I don't watch a lot of TV right now, other than sports. I'm not around enough to watch much TV. I do like this because you can watch around your schedule.
And again, it is a very dumb, random show that somehow we both watched and got hooked on.
Yeah, I got hooked on it because there was not a lot on during the COVID year, and we were home
no
a lot
sports.
more.
Yeah,
so I got hooked on 2 shows on Netflix. The one was the
Tiger King.
I got hooked on Tiger King, and then I was hungry for another episode, and then Netflix hit, and then Outer Banks hit. I did not want to watch it.
Yeah,
somehow it started playing by accident. The first episode, so I started watching it, and I got hooked after the first episode.
Well, I went to AJ's last night for sports trivia, and then I got home with my food from AJ's, ready to sit down, watch some sports highlights, and my roommate's in there watching Outer Banks. So I was kind of
taking over.
I didn't want to just force her out of the living room, so I just sat there and ate my food, watched Outer Banks.
Another female, by the way. Are any other dudes watching this? Wow. All right.
We talked about kickoff being at noon for South Carolina. I said I wish it was a 6 o'clock game. Jenny watches us on Facebook Live, says 12 o'clock kickoff for South Carolina will be to our benefit because the South Carolina guys have an indoor facility and they practice in it most of the year. So she thinks they'll be a little soft coming out of that indoor facility, not ready for the heat and humidity that will most likely be a factor that day.
I'll take any advantage I can get.
Yeah, that's a Cy Seymour advantage right there.
Yeah.
That's like Cy, when he was on the show, said we have the advantage in the Myrtle Beach tournament against teams like Oklahoma. Because we're used to the beach. Them boys don't know about the beach.
They're going to be going down there on vacation.
So Cy convinced
us. Myrtle Beach, somebody hitting up the Pancake House like crazy. They don't have Pancake House like that out in Oklahoma.
They're going to be going to Alligator Adventure and all that kind of stuff.
They got a steakhouse out there, but not the Pancake House.
Any edge you can get, right, Coach?
Exactly.
You take any advantage you
There's
can get.
no water slides out in Oklahoma like that.
There you go. So we got
putt. They're going to be all types of distractions for that Sooner team.
The golfing dolphin or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, if you practice in air conditioning, you're definitely right. That heat is going to be a different beast. So, like you said, I take any advantage I can get. Guys might be cramping up, coming out.
As a player, did you prefer the night to the day, or did it matter to you when you played?
It didn't matter. Game days was so easy than practice. So we was looking forward to Saturday to get here.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, it's the practice that's the hard part.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Any legendary Connors conditioning stories? I've heard some of those over the years.
Well, yeah, a whole lot of legendary Connor stories of conditioning. When you have a leg circuit, leave a leg circuit, have 10 stadiums. You're going up the top of the stadium 10 times, and on the last opponent, the last time you go in, you got to
piggyback guy on your back.
Piggyback on your back. And I want to say the first time I did it.
Who did you have to carry?
I had y'all might not know his name, but Big Nobes, Anthony Nobles.
Oh, I remember
6'8", 385 pounds.
Literally had him on your back.
Had him on my back.
And you had to go up the stairs.
All the way up.
Yikes.
And when I put him down, my whole legs just started shaking. So I was like, "Oh my God, this is what I'm going to be going through."
First of all, I don't know if I just picking the dude up's a lot. Even in a water, like in a pool, it would be, But then to go up the stairs, that's a whole nother animal.
After you done it 10 times, after you done a leg circuit, so
that's a heavy backpack.
Yeah, I'd get worn out just going up the stairs by myself.
Had us prepared though. Had us prepared.
Yeah. Speaking of weight training, I talked to high school coaches about this, how advanced it's become at the high school level. Has that trickled down at all to middle school, where you're doing any kind of weights? You don't want to, kill the kids and make them do too much, but is that part of the game?
I haven't started any weights. I'm fortunate that you say that. We do have a new facility on board where we're gonna have a gym with weights in it. So I wouldn't start the 6th or 7th graders doing weight room, but my 8th graders, I definitely have them in the weight room lifting weights.
Will that be ready for this season?
I can't quite say. I will hope so, but I don't know yet. Something I'll find out next week.
Yeah, and because Epps did get a grant. It was one of the only schools in the state that got the special grant they're going to use for I think some of the athletic facilities, right?
Yeah, it's huge. I think that's a good stepping stone towards our athletics.
Right now, you're just trying to get your 50 yards to practice on. It sounds like, right?
Yeah,
baby steps, I guess. All right,
some lines out there. We'll get them running.
We got one more break to take, Shirley. Let's get that in. We'll come back, wrap up today's edition of Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2021 GMC Terrain and save over $3,550 or 0% for 72 months. And as always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
At Jersey Mike's, we take great satisfaction in getting that perfect meat slice. Yes. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Because sliced to order makes a sub above. Alone, chicken, onions, peppers, and cheese have potential. Together, they have a purpose, a destiny, and a name. Jersey Mike's number 16 Chicken Philly. Because grilled to order makes a sub above.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh, she's doing great.
Oh yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Here is your ice-cold Pepsi Zero Sugar, sir.
Oh, thanks.
Wanna watch the game? Ooh, little sports ball on a Sunday afternoon. Don't mind if I do. Hey, did we win? It sounds like we won.
It's still the first quarter.
I must be lucky. People say that about me. Tough break on that free throw there. Shouldn't be doing that.
Dude, we're watching football. Come on.
For everyone who spent the entire game explaining the entire game, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
What's the big deal?
Where can you get pizza, bread twists, specialty chicken, and more for just $5.99 each?
Is it at Domino's?
He hands off hand-tossed pizza and a marble cookie brownie. He's going!
There's a lot of variety on the radio and at Domino's too, where you can
Mix and match 2 or more. $5.99 each at Domino's.
2-item minimum. Pan pizza, bone-in wings, and bread bowls will be extra. Ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
Hello, Greenville and Pitt County. We at Pitt County Schools want you to know that we are a thriving and connected school system ready and open for all students this year. We are offering all in-person learning with limited virtual options while operating on a 5-day, full-day schedule for our 38 school campuses. Pitt County Schools offers rigorous academic opportunities such as dual language programs, STEM engagement, global education, and college readiness. We also offer competitive athletics, full support for exceptional children, and career readiness opportunities such as paid apprenticeships and unique business partnerships. Pitt County Schools is fully committed to engage, empower, and elevate every student every day. Visit our website today at pittschools.org, where you'll find our new jam-packed strategic plan, our new mission and vision, our profile of a learner, or check out our unique preschools, elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, and early colleges. Pitt County Schools, engaging, empowering, and elevating every student every day.
Summer is a great time to buy beautiful new furniture at Bostic Sugg Furniture. Now, during our big summer sell-off, we've lowered prices all over the store. You'll find a great selection of the hottest living room furniture, bedrooms, and dining sets at savings that are hard to resist. And look for huge in-stock savings on sofas, sectionals, and recliners from Lazy Boy, Bassett, and Rowe with the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, enjoy local delivery for just $20.21 during the big summer sell-off. Now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
This is ECU assistant football coach Roy Tesh, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Carolina Hardscapes. Making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. If you have a dream of having a backyard patio fireplace, pool walkways, fire pits, or more, then Carolina Hardscapes is the place to call. Get started on your dreams today at Carolina Hardscapes on Fire Tower Road, across from Bostic Sugg Furniture. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Taking a look at your stock market report for today. day, the Dow was up 271 and closed at 35,064. The NASDAQ was ahead 98 at 15,181. S&P was also up 26 points and closed at 4,429. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Broad.
All right, wrapping it up on a Thursday. Awesome show today. Troy D. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you, Phoenix Evans, for being here, riding the whole hour, my man.
Hey, thank y'all for having me.
It was awesome.
Really enjoyed it, Phoenix. Thanks, man. And we'll do it again down the road.
Oh, yeah.
Troy, we'll see you on Monday.
Sounds good. Look forward to it. We'll have plenty to talk about then. And Coach Evans, good luck to you this year, leading the CMX Bulldogs in your first year of head coaching.
Thank you. Go Bulldogs.
First game, did you say September 9th?
September 9th.
All right, there you go. And Shirley, Chandler, we'll see you fine folks Friday, 3 o'clock for an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate